Live from North Wilkesboro Speedway, drivers from all over have come here tonight to battle it out at a legendary track to be champion of the second annual Rudolph 250. You'll see all the action here tonight, presented by VSPEED. My name is Scott Shive, and I'm joined by Sky Shrek and our executive producer, DJ Lion, here in the booth tonight for the Rudolph 250. It is going to be an excellent show tonight. Qualifying has just begun. We were dealing with some technical issues. The DJ worked out, not of his fault and on his end. So we are here tonight to bring you everything you are here to see tonight at North Wilkesboro Speedway. Sky, tell me about this track.
Yeah, it's a very famous racetrack, as we all know, abandoned for many years in real life. It was brought back recently. It reopened last year for NASCAR. We're running the Rudolph 250 here tonight with the late models. It's a historic track, one with a lot of importance. Tonight's going to be really fun.
Yeah, glad to be back here. Glad this speedway is back in real life. It exists for us in the sim with the 1987 scan. We're going to go ahead and get into qualifying with these drivers that are out there right now. Currently, Jake Grout has set the fastest time just now as a 18.13. And drivers are out there on track. Currently, it is Tristan Pina in the number 50 car out there setting down a time. We started at car number 47 to set down qualifying times. We've had two go so far, Matt Urban and Jake Grout. And Tristan Pina is up here in the 50 car, rounding through turn 3 and 4, coming to set his laps right here, Sky.
Yeah, he'll be the third car to set a lap, and we'll see where he slots onto the board here. Third, right behind Matt Urban and Jake Grout, the two drivers that have made laps so far. Second lap might be the fastest one here. We'll see where it works out for Tristan. He's going to come around to the front straightaway, start-finish line, and he will not improve. So first lap fastest right now for Tristan Pena.
First lap fastest for Tristan Pena right now. Again, we'll have up the next car. That will be, I believe, Peyton Howell in the number 52 car. Yes, it is. Right now, we've got a lot of schemes tonight. You're going to see a lot of cool paint schemes out here because we have a best appearance paint scheme. So for all car schemes that are Christmas themed in any nature, tonight in the YouTube chat, in the stream chat, and everywhere that we stream, we will have a vote for the best time out there for the best paint scheme, and it will be decided by you, the viewers, and us up here in the booth. So that will be one thing that we'll talk about for some of tonight, seeing all these awesome paint schemes that a lot of these drivers have brought down. First lap for Peyton Howell was an 18.49, coming here across the finish line, looking to improve here. Yes, he will, an 18.26, but it won't be enough. He'll be last, currently in fourth position.
Yeah, Peyton Howell out of Radford, Virginia, not improving on that time at all. We're going to get next up Matt Zaccardo in the 60. Next car out on the racetrack, making his first lap right now at Collins, New York. We'll see how he gets on.
And Matt Zaccardo out of Collins, New York. Glad to have him. His last name reminds me of Ricardo, Daniel Ricardo. That's the first thing I saw when I looked at him. We're going to get him up here in the sim in just a moment. There he is on track. Couldn't see him in the sim there for just a moment. He's in the 60 car tonight. Very chrome theme for him. He'll round through turn 3 and 4, looking to set up his first laps here tonight. He'll come across the line, opening his laps in this number 60 chrome car.
That was actually, I think that was his last lap. He scraped the wall there. He goes third in between Matt Urban and Tristan Pena in that 60 car. And we'll get set to get the next car up. It's going to be Robert Taylor in the 66 coming out on track.
Robert Taylor here in the 66, that black and white vehicle. Now he rounds through turn 3 and 4, looking to open his laps. Zach Ricardo wasn't appearing on my timing screen at the moment, but Robert Taylor out here opening his first lap, a 18.7. So look to improve that here. Looking like Sky, a lot of these drivers might be taking time to heat up their tires on this first lap to come across the lines, their second lap to be fastest. We'll see if Taylor can improve here. Yes, he will, just slightly.
Yeah,
but
much
it won't,
quicker there.
And it won't be enough. It's still a 18.7, so improves just slightly, but not going to be the lap he will want it to see. Top 5 advance from qualifying tonight to the feature. The rest will be sent to the heat races, so Robert Taylor will be our first car to be sent to the heat races.
Christian Peterson on the track now, one of the favorites for tonight's finishing up his first lap in that 71 machine. Not a great first lap for him. Still 6th. He's one of the faster cars here on the weekly series in the Misfit Racing League. Coming out to the Rudolph 250, he wants to pick up where he left off.
He's a fast driver. We know that from seeing him in the regular Touring Series Season 2. Puts down a second lap here. It's going to be faster. It's going to be an 18.16. That puts him second on the charts right now, just behind the 49 car of Jake Grout.
Making his out lap, or starting his first lap right now, is Stephen Choate in the 72 car. Next car out. He'll be the 8th car to qualify. We'll see where he slots in tonight. One of the newer drivers to this series. Going to see what he can do.
Yeah, Stephen Choate, driver here in the Rudolph 250. Haven't seen him race here before, so a lot of these drivers are new guys that we've never seen before. He goes 5th fastest right now with an 18.242. He'll try to improve on that here in his second lap. That puts him 5th currently. So one of the top 5 fastest qualifiers, rounds out 3 and 4 up towards the wall. Tries to go faster. Will he be able to? I don't think so. Didn't improve an 18.31 in his second lap. So his first one will be fastest for Stephen Choate.
Next car out is that yellow number 79, Anthony Yankello. Similar paint scheme to what he runs a lot in the Misfit Racing League. Skyline chassis sponsor on that car as he takes his first lap down into 3 and 4. We'll see where he slots into the 8 cars who have made laps so far. He's really loose out of the corner. That'll probably hurt his lap time. And he won't even get it scored. He hit the wall.
Yeah. It was an 18.42, but since he scraped the wall, iRacing discontinues those laps. Personally, when I'm a driver, I really hate that. Bothers me sometimes. Oh, he gets the wall again. Will iRacing discontinue that one as well? I don't think it'll matter. It's an 18.5, but I think iRacing will discontinue it. So both laps, Anthony Yankello was unable to keep it off the wall. That will put him in the back here, and he'll have to go to the heat races as well. Up next, number 80.
Victor Fluger.
The Fluger. Okay, I thought it was Tim. I got to race against him last night in a provisional snowball derby, and he was quite quick in the super late model, so I imagine that he can carry some of that speed over here to the late model. He puts in an 18.22. Knocks Stephen Choate out of the top 5, so that'll send Choate to the heats. Victor Fluger will be put into that top 5. We'll try to improve here on his second lap. Out of turn 3 and 4, up to the wall. Fluger, what will he go? It's an 18.256, so he won't quite improve, but that does put him barely in the top 5, Sky.
Yeah, Corey Moore will be the next car on the track. You want to be in that top 5 when qualifying's all said and done. We're going to have 4 heat races here tonight and an LCQ. But if you qualify in the top 5 in this session, you don't have to race in the heats. You make the A-main automatically. So, a lot of incentive to qualify good tonight. Corey Moore setting up his first lap right now in the 84. We'll see if he can do that.
Yeah, right now, Corey Moore out there starting his first lap here, rounds it through 3 and 4. Again, like you said, very important. You want to make that top 5 to be able to skip the heats, skip the chaos, and everything in that nature. Corey Moore goes 3rd with an 18.182, so currently a fast time. The driver in the 84 car looks to go fastest here in his second lap. Will he be able to put it on pole above Jake Grout right now? We're going to know. He rounds it here through the start-finish line. Will it be faster? No, it's an 18.3, so still Corey Moore sits 3rd.
Next car out on the track is going to be Justin Crowe in the 86, another one of the drivers that we've seen in the Misfit Racing League quite a bit this year. 10 cars have set their laps. He'll start his first lap here. It'll be the 11th of about, I believe, about 34 cars today who are going to be competing in this race and setting times in this qualifying session. He'll round through 3 and 4. We'll see where he slots in on the board as he comes back from the start-finish line. Justin Crowe is going to go to the top. Pole for Justin Crowe provisionally right there, beating out Jake Grout, currently number 2 on the board. He'll come around to finish the second lap. We'll see where that gets him. Little slower, but he'll still be on pole. Next car out, the 90 of Jacob Alexander.
What a lap from Justin Crowe there. We know we see him in the Touring Series regularly, and we know that he is a fast driver out there, so goes pole right now. But other drivers out there, this is Jacob Alexander in the 90 car. Right now, I think it's reading the 00. Now out on track is Jacob Alexander, looking to try to beat the time of Justin.
Yeah, that 90 car is going to come around to finish lap 1. We'll see where he slots in. Not a great time right there. Going to go to 11th on the board. Going to need to pick up quite a bit of time to improve it all. He's still about 0.2 of a second back of Peyton Howell there in 10th. And he's going to cross, hit the grass a little in 3 and 4 this time. And he will improve. He'll beat Peyton Howell, move up to 11th, or move to 10th. Next up on the track is going to be, well, let's take a look here. It's going to be the 143 of Christian Jansen. One of the Christmas cars in the field tonight. You get a prize if you have the best Christmas paint scheme. Jansen going for that prize. We'll see where he slots into the field tonight. Crossing the line to complete lap 1, or to complete his out lap, or yes, that was his lap 1. He'll go 12th on the board in between Howell and Taylor. Coming through 3 and 4 now. We'll see where Christian Jansen goes. The 143 machine. Does he improve? Not at all. He'll go slower. So now that we're through the cars on the high end of the order, we're going to come back down to Jake Sylvia in the 1. He'll be the next car out on the racetrack. He's starting his out lap right now. Jake Sylvia, one of the regulars in the Misfit Touring Series. Runs well pretty much every race here, looking to come into the Rudolph 250. Bit of a special race. See what he can do tonight out of Middletown, Rhode Island, in the Jake Sylvia racing car. Comes around turn 4 on his first lap. He's one of the contenders. Where will he qualify? On the top, Jake Sylvia to the provisional pole on his first lap. He'll come around for lap 2 now. We'll see where he works out. Gonna go down to the inside through 3 and 4. Will this lap be faster? He'll just pull it in. He'll take the first one. Next up on the track, Bradley Cooper.
Yeah, great lap there from Jake Sylvia. I was experiencing some technical issues there with my internet now. Might still be interfering there. Jake Sylvia goes fastest on the top right now. But up next, the driver of the number 5 car. And that is Bradley Cooper, one of our bosses here, actually at VSPEED. He came out to complete the challenge tonight. He's going to try to put down a fast lap here. We had some polls that he might be starting from the back. Let's see if he can upset us in that matter of fact. He puts an 18.51 down, so it puts him 14th of 15 drivers right now. So let's see if he can come here and improve this time, Sky.
I love the Santa hat he's got on, the VSPEED boss. Trying to improve on his lap time, and he will not, or he will be able to do it. He will not improve on his position at all. Bradley Cooper will stay 14th. Julian Valdez in the 6 car will be the next one out on the racetrack.
Yeah, it looks like you really want to be in the low 2s right now. That's where most of our drivers are at, the low 2s. And so Julian Valdez out here. It looks like a very similar paint scheme. Is that Peyton Howell? It looks like the exact same car.
Potentially, he's got the 52 on the door, but he's running the number 6 in Civ.
Well, that might get confusing tonight.
He will qualify. Adrenaline Performance Esports driver out of Terre Haute, Indiana. We asked if these guys did anything for work, and he said he was a certified forklift operator. See if he could use those skills to wheel a late model here tonight.
You gotta know, you gotta be, if you're a certified forklift operator, you have to be a good driver because it takes so much control to be able to do that. Julian Valdez will go an 18.324 is his best time, so it puts him 14th right in front of Bradley Cooper. Up next, we're gonna have Deegan Smith in the number 15 car. It says the 9, that's what he is in iRacing, but he's out there running the 15 car here tonight. And I love getting to see Deegan Smith each time he's out here on the track. He always puts in a show. Driver from Rockton, Illinois. And he's 17 years of age. Running through turn 3. We've seen him a lot in the Touring Series. and he usually has speed. He put an 18.47 down the first time, coming across the line the second time, it'll be an 18.14 that'll put him 7th on the charts.
Coming up next after Deegan Smith is going to be Dakota Floyd in the 12 car. 24 on the door. Again, 12 is what he is running in iRacing tonight. A little bit of a Kyle Larson paint scheme there for him. We'll see if he can use Kyle Larson's expertise at racing tonight to try and get himself up the field. Coming to complete his first lap right now. We'll see where he slots on. Looks really loose at a 4, and it's a bad lap. He will go bottom of the field, only ahead of Robert Taylor.
Yeah, you really got to make sure that back end doesn't kick out. It's so easy. Overheat the rears and lose time on exit when you lose that grip. Here comes Dakota Floyd across the line the second time, puts down an 18.4. But I move him up just a little bit. Actually, he'll keep him in the same spot, so he improves, but not enough to break up into the top 15. So not where the driver of the 12 car wanted to be tonight. He'll be sent to the heat races. Up next, the driver of the 14, at least out there, that is Kyle Stewart. And I love this paint scheme from Kyle. I've been eyeing it here tonight. Again, viewers, keep...
Yeah, I've got a prize for the best paint scheme tonight. 14 is going to be going for that. He was one of the slowest drivers in practice. He'll want to pick up a little bit of time in qualifying tonight. Not a great first lap, slotting behind Dakota Floyd. He'll come around for the second time. 18.522 slower on the second lap, and that brings up a regular in the series, Kyle Terzak.
Terzak in the number 15 car, already 3 wins on the season in the Misfit Touring Series, but none of that matters here tonight. This isn't about points. It isn't about the Touring Series. It is about this one race here tonight. So the 15 car of Terzak, we know that he is fast. He'll try to go on pole here and beat Sylvia. What time will he be able to put down?
He'll go towards the back.
They're very fast.
Yeah, not a great lap for him there. 18.464 for Terzak. He's going to try to go faster this time around. He should for sure, and he will. Kyle Terzak to the provisional pole, jumping himself up into one of those automatic qualifying spots. He was the second fastest car in practice. We'll see if he can keep that speed going. Ken Zeems in the 17, next car out on the racetrack. He's going to come around. First lap, not great. He'll qualify right about towards the back of the pack there. 17th or so for Ken Zeems. Coming around the second time in that 17 car to the line. He'll take himself up to, oh, pretty good run there. Top 10 for Ken Zeems in 10th. Next car out in the field will be the 18 of Charlie Bates. He's running the 34 on the door. 18 in the sim tonight. Starting his out lap right now, coming out of the pits a little late. We'll see where he slots in. And he's going to park it, and he's going to reset. And he's going to go back out. So not sure what Charlie Bates is doing here, but we're going to figure it out, and he will make his laps. Coming to start lap 1, he'll go through 3 and 4 right now. Back out onto the front straightaway. One of the slower cars in qualifying again here. Actually, my bad, he's one of the faster cars in qualifying. I'm reading the wrong name on my sheet here. I'm going to look to try to improve a little bit in qualifying. If he runs the same lap he did in practice, it would get him into the top 5. So he's going to want to have a fast time here tonight. First lap will be pretty decent. He'll go back in 12th. And have one more time to get it faster. Looks like maybe a little bit loose out of 2 there. He'll go down the back straightaway into 3 and 4. We'll see if he can pick up any pace. Coming to the line here. Not quicker. Charlie Bates goes a little slower. Alex Coffey next up in the 19 car. Another new driver in the series here tonight. We'll see how he does. Yeah, we on VSPEED, we covered a race a little bit ago. I believe a couple of days ago. Off-axis paint snow derby. Alex Coffey ran up front for most of that race. Though we know he is very good in these late models, and he gets a great lap there on his first time around. P4 for Alex Coffey, jumping up to the top 5. He's got 2 more corners on his last lap. See what he can do here. And he'll take that first lap. He'll put it in the pits on lap 2. Next car in number is me because I hit the wrong button going into the session, but the next car on track will be John Leday in the 22 machine. Coming around here to take his first lap. Sliding it big down into the corner and kind of washing up the racetrack a little bit. He'll bring that back on the back straightaway. Down into 3 and 4, a regular in the Misfit Touring Series guy who's got a lot of experience in this car. We'll see where he shakes out on the first lap. Towards the front, John Leday. Good qualifying effort, going 8th on his first lap. See where that takes him on his second try. John Leday, not quicker, but very close. He'll stay 8th. Frank Klein in the 23, next car up. Klein, the driver out of Perry, New York, in the ZFG Esports machine. On the bottom of the racetrack, coming back up out of there in turn 2. Gonna dive through 3 and 4. Looks like he's going for the first lap as his fast one. Drivers have kind of been split today on which one they want to choose. Klein chooses the first. Decent lap there. He'll go towards the middle of the pack and circle out 20th for Frank Klein. He's got one more try to do it. Move himself up into the top 15 here. And Frank Klein will go a little quicker, picking up a couple spots there, beating Christian Jansen. He'll go 19th. Kyle Adams driving the VSPEED car right there. One of the favorites for a Christmas paint scheme with the kind of chrome colors, VSPEED logo, still a snow theme. Beautiful car that 24 is. Another one of the regulars in the Misfit Touring Series is going to use his first lap as his setup lap. Running the top. You see that different choice these drivers are taking. It'll be a slow lap 1, but he's all in on lap 2 right here. Coming down the back straightaway, he'll go into 3 and 4. We'll see where Kyle Adams shakes out. The first lap's been a little quicker, but you can definitely make the second one work. And Kyle Adams is going to go towards the top. He'll slide in 9th behind John Leday. Next car up will be Craig Wilcott in the 27. Leaving the pit lane right now, Craig Wilcott. One of the cars, he's got 15 on the door, but he is 27 in iRacing, and that is what he will be shown as in the qualifying order here tonight. Driver out of Wisconsin. We'll see how he does down in turn 1 and 2. About middle of the pack in practice, so he's going to want to pick up some time here in quali. Coming to complete lap 1. Towards the back, going about 22nd there for Craig Wilcox. Back down through 3 and 4 now. We'll see where he shakes out. Craig Wilcott, little loose out of that corner, but he'll still pick up 1 position. Go to 22nd past Julian Vasquez. Coming to the end of qualifying here, we've got 7 more cars left to run, and the first one of those is going to be, or 6 cars left to run. First one of those is going to be Matt Mingo in the 28. Another driver that's going to look to pick up some positions from where they were in practice. Driver out of Ellsworth, Maine, trying to get a good result here for the heat races. Another driver doing a little bit of setup lap on lap 1, going towards the back. Matt Mingo will come through 3 and 4. Oh, big loose out of the corner there is going to slow him up. And that lap will be slower, not the qualifying that Matt Mingo wanted at all. Which means next up, fastest car in practice, Justin Brooks in the 33. He's going to come back at him down in 3 and 4. This is going to be one of the drivers you want to watch to jump into that top 5 automatically qualify himself into the feature here tonight. And he will. Justin Brooks straight to the top. He's on pole, and he will take that lap. Top 5 make this feature automatically, and with only 4 cars left to go, the drivers in those positions are Brooks, Terzak, Sylvia Crow, and Alex Coffey in 5th. Next out will be Jared Schell in the 34, another familiar driver to those of you watching the Misfit Touring Series every week here on VSPEED. Every Saturday night, Jared Schell out there in that series, trying to run his best laps, trying to get good finishes. He'll use this first lap as a bit of a setup lap for his second one, and we'll see where it cycles out for him. Not a great time there. He'll go 25th, but as mentioned, this is going to be his hot lap right here. Went a little slow on the first one to try to set this up. And Jared Schell, 4th last car to qualify, will hit the wall and will not have that lap count. So Jared Schell will go 25th. That is the danger of trying to make that first lap a setup lap, is if you hit the wall, you're screwed. Benjamin Gerhardt, next car out in the 35. P10 on the racetrack. He will be on the scoring pylon, number 35 here tonight. Gerhardt going to come around. We'll see what he does on his first lap. Not good, so bad time on his first one, and he's way up the track on his second one, too. Gerhardt not going to take any time at all. He will go right in towards the back. He's in 30th with 2 cars left to go. Ryan Klingler will be the next car up in 36, making his outlap right now. 14 on the track, 36 on the pylon. Another driver new to the Misfit Racing League. Not a regular in the Misfit Touring Series, but he's out here tonight in that beautiful Christmas car. Going to be one of the favorites for our Christmas paint scheme competition later here tonight. He'll go to 3 and 4 to complete his first lap. Treating this more like a hot lap, I think, than some of the more recent cars we've seen. Ryan Klingler, not a great time, going 30th there. He's going to need to pick up a lot of spots on this second run, move himself up the field. He was the slowest car in practice, and he's definitely going to need to improve to make the A-main here tonight. Little loose off 4, and he's slower on the second lap. And the last car up tonight for qualifying is going to be the 44 of John Ross. Can he make a move up the field to get himself into that top 5? Coming to complete lap 1, John Ross, what can he do? It's a good lap, not top 5 worthy, but he's moving up through the field. John Ross provisionally is going to be mid-pack here tonight, starting around 13th or 14th once we get the scoring pylon ticked back over. 16th on the first lap for John Ross. Lap 2 will be a little quicker. John Ross jumps to 9th. He'll be in the top 10 when we go to the heats. So that is the end of qualifying. Top 5 advance to the feature. That'll be Justin Brooks, Kyle Terzak, Jake Sylvia, Justin Crow, and Alex Coffey. Next 4 cars will be on the pole of your 4 heats coming up tonight live on VSPEED. And that'll be Jake Grout, Christian Peterson, Corey Moore, and John Ross leading those heat races as we get ready for the heats. So we're going to get this all sorted out here. We're going to get the heats lined up. We're going to get everything rolling. Get everything back prepared here as we get ready for the main event.
Everything rolling, Sky. You got me back?
I do.
Okay. Sorry, folks. I had some internet issues on my end. We should be clear from here. Sky is excellent in the booth with me. One of the best guys I've ever gotten to work with. Best people ever. So, Sky, thank you. And you are such an awesome commentator. That's why we love to have you and why I love to work with you. So thank you for helping out VSPEED in the chat during qualifying. Sad to miss some of it while you were gone because, man, you were knocking them off. That was great.
Had a good time. Had some great drama there, too. I think the way they drew the numbers worked out really well because Justin Brooks fastest car in practice, got the pole, was one of the last cars to go, which added some little extra drama to it there.
I think so too. Well, while we had our technical issues early on, we didn't get to give you some of the information that we would have wanted to, and we're going to take that time here tonight. Justin Brooks will be getting $5 here tonight for setting the fastest time in qualifying. So congratulations, Justin. You're going to get that $5 fastest time bonus. Tonight, for the feature race, first place will get $50, second place will get $20, and third place will get $10 as their payout consolations for whoever finishes in those positions. All podium drivers will receive a VSPEED t-shirt. We've been loving giving those away here recently, so we're excited to give those away to the top 3 finishers. And Sky, why don't you tell our viewers about the Ultimate Challenge?
Yeah, so the fast qualifier tonight, before we get to the heat race, we'll have an opportunity to start from the back. Tonight, that will be Justin Brooks. So he's going to get the option to start from the back tonight, and if he does and successfully wins the race, he'll get an extra $50 bonus. If Justin Brooks refuses that offer, then the next car, Kyle Terzak, have the opportunity to take the same deal, go from the back, try to win 50 bucks.
Well, hopefully we will be able to get an interview with him before the start of the feature to figure all of that out. But first, we're going to have all of our heat races here tonight for our not top 5 drivers. Jake Grout will start on the pole of this first heat race. Then it'll be Corey Moore in the 84 car, starting to his outside on the front row. John Leday in the 22 will start third. Out his outside will be Matt Urban. Matt Zaccardo in the 60 car will start 5th, and Victor Pfluger will start 6th in the 80. Steven Choate will start in the 72 car in 7th, and an 8th to his outside. That'll be the 90 of Jacob Alexander. Frank Klein comes up here in 9th in the heat race, and Craig Wilcott in the 27 will round out the top 10 for this first heat race here tonight.
Jared Schell in the 34 rolls off 11th with Bradley Cooper in 12th. Kyle Stewart 13th, Benjamin Gerhardt 14th. And last car on the field not setting a quality time, Anthony Yankello in 15th. We're doing 2 heat races tonight. Top 4 from both of these heats make the feature. That in combination with the drivers who made it from qualifying make 13 cars. We're going to have a 25-lap consolation race once these 2 heat races are done. And I believe top 11 cars from that will go to the feature. So if you don't get top 4 in this heat race, you got one more chance to make it to the main event in what I'm sure will be a very busy consolation race.
15 cars trying to make 4 spots. Sky, I think that is going to provide some action and maybe some more drama, maybe more than we saw in qualifying.
Oh, for sure. I mean, we've got only about 10 laps here in this heat race. It's going to be go time, especially for some of those drivers starting a little further back. Zaccardo, Pfluger, who are going to need to drive through the field if they want to get those spots. You're going to see a lot of desperate moves, and you're going to see them early. I think this is going to be hectic.
I think it's going to be hectic as well. We're just going to have to see how it will prevail here in this first heat race. Jake Grout again on the pole. His outside is the 84 car. And we are going to have some excellent racing action here tonight, Sky.
Absolutely. Grout and Corey Moore on the outside are going to lead him to the line. John Leday and Matt Urban in the second row are the next 2 cars in those transfer spots. Pace car is going to pull off out of 4, and as Jake Grout rounds the corner, we are green for the Rudolph 250 heat races.
Green here into turn 1. Jake Grout down on the bottom, and this is outside. That's Corey Moore in the 84. Still side by side through this field. Right behind him, that's Matt Urban and John Leday fighting it out. Jake Grout gets in front of Corey Moore here to complete lap 1. But right there, the battle for third position is not yet over.
Not at all. Leday still down on the inside of Matt Urban. Leday's one of those drivers that qualified really well as Urban hits his wall to the outside. That's going to give Leday a chance to get up to the inside of that car. Leday, like I was saying, one of the surprise qualifiers, did really well in qualifying. Looking really fast in this heat race. I think he might be a threat moving into the main event tonight. Matt Urban will finally get the spot, and now Matt Zaccardo will look at the inside for 4th.
Zaccardo right there in the 60 car, looking to the inside, trying to make it for 4th. That's that bright and red chrome car on the inside. of Pfluger trying to go for that 4th spot.
That's the transfer battle right now, and behind them, Pfluger is waiting for one of these cars to mess something up. If neither of them mess something up, I wouldn't be surprised if we see a move here out of that 80 of Victor Pfluger. Zaccardo's ahead of Leday, and Pfluger's going to be able to get to the inside of the 22 car. Top 4 advance, 80 loose out of the corner. He needs to make this move now. We're going to come to 5 to go in the heat race.
80 car Pfluger now to the inside of Leday. Leday falling back through this field. Whoa, big dive here by the 23 car of Klein. He backs out into turn 1, thinks better of it, battle back here for the 6th position. All these cars trying to break into that top 4 to make it to the feature race.
Like I said, you gotta get moving. Now is the time to do it. You can start well in the consolation, but nothing is ever guaranteed in those races. You want to take it in the feature. 80's in that 5th spot, but Klein and Leday are going to go side by side for 6th. While this is happening in the final transfer spot, Zaccardo is starting to get away. Oh, big wreck.
Boom, big crash here in the back straightaway. Matt Urban is in the wall and going backwards. Caution is out with 3 laps to go.
He started 4th, he was running towards the front, and Matt Urban will now be sent to the back. We're going to get your VSPEED replay on what happened to Matt Urban. Sponsored by DriverTees.com. He's running 3rd in a transfer spot. Oh, and he just loses it.
Just gets loose.
Into the wall, collects Zaccardo, and that is 2 of the cars in those transfer spots involved in an accident. We're going to a green-white checkered.
Yeah, taking a look here at the rear of Urban, you see him just get loose off the exit of 4, tags the wall, and then Zaccardo had nowhere to go in the 60 car there. Tags him a little bit. Gotta wonder if he has damage, but that's gonna send Matt Urban all the way to the rear sky when he was running in that top 4, and he's coming to pit lane.
He is gonna have to make up a lot of spots in that consolation race. We've got 34 cars out here tonight. We're only taking 24 to the main event. He's going to need to get about 10 spots in that consolation if he wants to get himself up into the feature, if he does finish this race in last. Yeah, iRacing right now doing a holiday sale as we get closer to Christmas. You can get 50% off a new iRacing membership through January 5th. If you visit iracing.com/holiday sale, it's a great way to get into iRacing. Really good price too. I know personally, I only renew using the sales. This is a great opportunity to get one of those if you are new to the service. When we come around here, Jake Grout, Corey Moore are the top 2. They'll double file up as we head back towards the start-finish line, and we'll see how this heat race shakes out. Zaccardo's promoted to 3rd, but he's got a little bit of damage on that 60 car. Victor Pfluger now up to 4th after that accident, but we saw some of these cars back here. Frank Klein, Jacob Alexander, they have been on a charge. We'll see if they can get the last 1 or 2 spots they need to take themselves up into the feature here tonight. The cars are doubling up.
Cars doubling up here tonight, trying to go for a green-white checkered. Up front, these guys still on the pole. Jake Grout, Corey Moore still in the front row, but Matt Zaccardo and Victor Pfluger right here have made up the next 2 spots that will transfer. But what will transpire here in these last laps? What will Frank Klein, Jacob Alexander, John Leday, and Stephen Choate, drivers right there outside of the top 4, what will they do here when we come back to green to complete the last few laps of the first heat race? Jake Grout down to turn 1.
Klein is immediately peeking up the inside. He doesn't want to wait. He's side by side with Victor Pfluger for the last transfer spot. Pfluger has the advantage on the top, but he has to check up, and that gives the 23 a run. Frank Klein, who started towards the back of this heat race, is going to be moving through the field up to 4th. Who's going to get the last transfer spot, him, Pfluger, or someone behind?
They're still side by side. Final lap. Final spot for the transfer coming through 3 and 4. It's Frank Klein right now in front of Victor Pfluger, and it will be Frank Klein to make the transfer spot, and Jake Grout will win the heat race side by side. It was just 3/100ths of a second between the 2 drivers to make the transfer position.
Man, and there were cars beating and banging further back. You saw cars hitting the wall, cars sliding. It was chaos for those last few spots. Every position matters going into the consolation.
These drivers, as you see, want to make it so fast there, and Frank Klein absolutely wheeled his way into the feature race. So right here, we're going to have our second and final heat race of the night. On pole will be the 71 of Christian Peterson. John Ross and the 44 will be to his outside. Right there behind them in row number 2 will be Kyle Adams and Deegan Smith. Ken Zeems will round out the top 5 in the 17 car, and Charlie Bates will be in the 18 in the 6th position. Tristan Pena will be in the 50 car right there in 7th. At his outside, it'll be the 52 of Peyton Howell. The 143 of Chris Jensen comes home 9th here in this starting grid, and Julian Valdez rounds out the top 10.
Look at the last 4 cars in the heat race. Matt Mingo rolls off 11th with Dakota Floyd in the 12 car in 12th. Ryan Klingler 13th, Robert Taylor 14th, and I hit the wrong button. I am not starting 15th.
Sky will be just in our booth tonight, although I would love to see you in these cars, see you competing. We've never gotten to race together, Sky, so I'd love how you just would be able to compete against some of these guys.
I don't think we have. I think I've ran 1 or 2 of the Crandon dashes that these Misfit Racing League guys have run. I believe we might, don't quote me on this, might be doing one after the Rudolph 250 tonight. So if you are interested in fun at Crandon in the Pro 4 trucks, a lot of fun, full contact racing, you can join the Misfit Racing League.
JoinMRL.com is where you can figure out everything going on here with the Misfit series, everything that we do here with everything goes from street stocks, mini stocks, modifieds, the touring series, Crandon dashes. MRL has it all over here for you to race. So joinmrl.com is where you can find some of that stuff. We want to thank some of our partners, RKM Setup Shop, Sticky Racing, Misfit Productions themselves. We got so many people that make it all possible here at VSPEED for us to produce, and here at MRL to be able to put on these awesome league races. So, Christian Peterson will start on the pole tonight. John Ross to his outside again. The top 4 will advance to the feature race. Everyone else will go to the last chance. Green flag is out. Christian Peterson is away.
John Ross, another one of those surprise qualifiers. He's able to get down in 2nd. Ooh, big move for the 17 of Ken Zeems back there. Slides a couple cars up the racetrack. We're going 3 wide for the back. Jansen on the inside, 52 a Howell around, and we might have a caution. We do not have a caution. He keeps it straight.
Green flag right now. Peyton Howell keeps it straight and keeps going forward. That puts him way off the pace, and with big damage, the 44 is sideways. That's John Ross. Caution is out.
Kyle Adams around further back as well. Chaos in the front of the field to start this race, and that's going to let Zeems get to 3rd. Tristan Pena from 7th to 4th.
Well, that all started with Chris Jensen throwing it into turn 1, 3 wide. It was a big move. We'll take out what happened here on our DriverTees.com replay. You see Peyton Howell there in the back, but this is the 143-43 car on your screen. Gonna have problems here. Gets into Kyle Adams, and right ahead of them, there were problems before, so Kyle Adams goes around from 6th position.
Maybe just a case of Kyle Adams checking up while the cars behind him didn't. You see John Ross on the top get really loose. I think Adams might have just checked up for that. A couple other cars didn't see it coming. Around he goes.
I think that's an excellent analysis. Couldn't have said it better. Take a look here on the driver of Kyle Adams right now on the outside of the 43. And yeah, just gets tagged there, checking up for the spinner of the 44 that was in front of them.
I believe John Ross claimed the caution there, so he will go to the back on this restart.
Well, John Ross, he was in that top 4, and claiming that caution, he goes to the back. This was the incident with Peyton Howell just moments before our caution. Saw a scuffle between 2 drivers there in turn 3 and 4. So he's probably happy about this caution because he was about a second off after his incident.
Oh, for sure. I mean, he would have been out of it. He would have been starting the consolation race in dead last if he wasn't able to take advantage of that. He's going to be right back up to the back of the field. Still got a lot of work to do, but he's in a much better position to get it done.
Much better position to get it done. Peyton Howell with the rest of the field now. So, John Ross to the back, down 12 positions now from this start with that EOL. And with only 6 laps left when we get the green flag, not sure if he's going to be able to make up all that position, Sky.
No, he's got one of the faster cars in the field, but he might be another driver that has to drive through the field in the consolation race. We're taking a lot of cars out of that. We are taking the top 11 from that race. We'll see how it shakes out, but right now it's going to look like he might be starting all the way back around 20th, and he's going to have to make his way up.
And we had 34 cars qualify tonight. So that means 10 or more drivers will be out when we make it to the feature. But 4 of them will be locked in after these laps. Christian Peterson gets the green flag. Deegan Smith, not a great start on the outside.
No, not at all. That's really good, though, for the 17 of Ken Zeems, who's made quick work up through this field. Deegan Smith is having some internet issues up there in second, which I'm sure is scaring that 17 car off because he is lagging back and forth. Pena fourth, Charlie Bates in fifth, Christian Jansen in sixth. Bates is going to look up the inside, or Pena is going to look up the inside of Zeems. Won't get anything done. He'll stay in line, 3 to go.
Pena right now, the car in the last transfer position. He goes to the inside of the 50. Contact between the two of them. This is a battle for the transfer position right behind them. Contact as well. Sideways is the 14 in the back. Caution is out.
And I think at the time of caution, Charlie Bates was in fourth. He'll get the last spot. Further back, Klingler, Howell, Floyd all around.
Well, caution in the back. That was before the white flag, so we will have a green-white checkered attempt here in the heat race. We'll take a look at our DriverTees.com replay. This was the 14 car and Dakota Floyd in the back. Not Dakota Floyd. The drivers just looking like they weren't figuring it out on the backstretch, and Kyle Adams involved in an incident yet again.
That was Robert Taylor who got into him there. Started that with the contact. Yeah, just got into his door, then all 3 of them around.
And that 14 car was the Ryan Klingler. The Klingler. There's another series I call where we have a driver, we call him the Dingler. So I think we might have the Klingler here tonight. But the Klingler involved in an incident there off the nose of Robert Taylor in the 66 car. No one has claimed this caution yet.
I was about to say, we're still having problems back there. Kyle Adams is locking up the brakes, trying to avoid hitting somebody.
Yeah, Adams just was stuck in the back after that EOL earlier. Klingler will claim the caution, but he is on pit road and 2 laps down, so he has parked the machine himself, and he will go to that consolation race after the incident. But what a move from Charlie Bates. It was aggressive, but it worked. He threw it down into turn 3 on the inside of Tristan Pena, and it worked out for him, but it was aggressive.
Yeah, I think they both knew the caution was coming out. They looked in the mirror and they saw the spin because they suddenly started beating and banging off each other like they were coming to the line at Darlington. Both of them wanted that 4th spot, and it ended up being so close. Charlie Bates just got Pena by the time the caution came out.
Well, he just got the spot, but he's going to have to keep it here for this green-white checkered attempt, and he's on the outside, so Tristan Pena will be a row back, but he'll have the dominant inside line, so it's going to be a fight between these two for the position. And I got to wonder, will Matt Mingo, Chris Jensen, or any of these guys, Robert Taylor, be close enough to make a move and close enough to get in this transfer position? We're going to see it all unfold right here, right now. It's Christian Peterson, Deegan Smith, Ken Zeems, and Charlie Bates, your top 4, but a hungry Tristan Pena, Matt Mingo, Christian Jensen, all behind them. First of 3 green-white checkered attempts, a green flag lap, and then a white lap. If we take the white flag before a caution, any flag thrown after it will end it. But if we get a caution before the end of the green flag lap, we'll rack them up, stack them up, and go again. The green flag is out for the first green-white checkered. Christian Peterson down into turn 1.
15 really pushing Ken Zeems down the racetrack, trying to get as low as he can. Deegan Smith maybe working on Christian Peterson, but he's clear into second as we're side by side between Zeems and Bates for 4th. Pena still on the inside. We take the white flag. This finish is official. It's going to be Zeems, Bates, and Pena for the last 2 spots.
Bates right there, just still in front of Pena, trying to make it work on the outside. Pena gets loose at a turn 2, but as they come across turn 3 and 4, Pena gets a run. They bang doors across the line. They're sideways. It's going to be close. Who is it? It's Bates.
Bates just gets him by 1.5 hundredths of a second at the line there.
They were door to door, all the way up to the wall, all the way until they crossed the line. And man, Pena had a great run out of the corner, but just couldn't quite do it. That was excellent racing.
Oh, for sure. Pena is going to be one of those cars to watch out for in the consolation race, because we know that thing is fast. He was 2 door-banging finishes away from making this race.
Well, Pena will start on the front row for this consolation race. So we're just going to have to see how that will work out for him, and that was an excellent battle between the two. He's in that top 11 now, so especially I think you want to be maybe a little bit more conservative here, Sky, in this consolation race. Again, the top 11 will make it. Victor Pfluger will start on the pole for this consolation race. Teston Pena to his outside. John Leday will start 3rd, and Matt Mingo will start 4th. Stephen Choate will round out the top 5 in the 72 car. Robert Taylor will be on his outside. Jacob Alexander in the 90 car will start 7th, and Peyton Howell in the 52 will start 8th. 9th and 10th will be Jared Schell and John Ross.
Anthony Yankello starts as the last car in, but that's got 25 laps to change. Julian Valadez rolls off 12th with Bradley Cooper in 13th. Kyle Adams 14th, Craig Wilcott 15th, and on his outside will be Dakota Floyd in 16th. Matt Urban in row 9 rolls off 17th with Christian Jansen to his outside in 18th. Kyle Stewart P19 in the consolation. Ryan Klingler P20, and our last car on the field tonight in P21 will be Benjamin Gerhardt.
Benjamin Gerhardt rounding out this field. Again, Kyle Stewart, Chris Jensen, Klingler, and others were involved in incidents in their heat races. I don't think Gerhardt was in a heat race, so he starts from the consolation back here completely. We get rolling here for our pace laps, and again, top 11 will make it, Sky. 25 laps, so 15 more than the heat races. I think these drivers ought to be a little bit more calm than they were in the heat races. At least that's what I would do if I were a smart driver here for these 25 laps. What do you think?
Well, here's what I'm thinking. I think the top 6 or 7 cars here, maybe even, 8th or 9th, Howell, Show back there, are all going to be very calm, very orderly. We're going to get single file. We're all going to drive nose to tail around the racetrack, and no one's going to do anything. Everyone further from about John Ross in 10th on back to Gerhardt in last is going to be driving like their life is on the line. So you're going to get a really calm front half of the pack, but the back half of the pack is going to want to kill each other, and that is how the cautions are going to come in this consolation race. 25 laps tonight.
We'll just have to see if your theory stands. Leading along, that is Bradley Cooper, VSPEED co-owner and our boss man in the number 5 car here tonight. We'll be rooting for him unbiasedly if we can. Victor Pfluger on the inside, Tristan Pena on the outside. We're green flag for the last chance qualifier, 25 laps.
Pfluger gets the good run. Not a great start for Mingo back there in 4th. He's already fallen back. Pena and Pfluger will stay side by side for the top spot as we're getting in the wall a little further back. Pena way up the road. That's going to give Pfluger the lead for now.
Oh, big crossover looking here by Pena. Will he throw it into turn 1? No, he'll hold position right now. Victor Pfluger getting loose up on the outside. Pena goes to the inside. Contact between the two of them. Pfluger's around. Caution is out.
Well, I take back what I said about the cars racing nice at the front of the field, because we have wrecked for the lead in a consolation race where 11 cars transfer.
Well, the theory held for about 1 lap and a 4th.
Yeah, it didn't end too well there. We're going to get the DriverTees.com replay on what happened to Pena and Pfluger in the 50 and the 80. Oh, I'm not sure. That might have been net code, or he might have just gotten loose.
It looks like the 80 car of Pfluger soared into turn 1 right here. You can see he's loose all the way through the corner. Pena gets a run, tries to move to the inside, and Pfluger comes down just a little bit. I would declare that a racing incident between the two of them. We'll have to see what race control will say. You see, again, Pfluger reels sideways. Pena gets a run, tries to go down to the inside, make a tiny hair of contact, and that was just enough to get Pfluger around as he was already loose.
Yeah, those cars didn't make physical contact. That might have been some net code there between those two that resulted in Fluger going around. It was really close.
We'll have to see if race control says anything, if there is a caution claim for that incident, or if it will just be counted as a racing incident. So we're just going to have to look right now. This puts Victor Fluger all the way at the back, and it puts Tristan Pena up on the pole again for now. We'll let you know if race control says anything to us, but right now, this is how it will stand. Victor Fluger is on pit road and all the way to the back.
John Leday moves up to second here. Stephen Choate up to third. A couple cars already moving up to the field. Kyle Adams and Bradley Cooper both started outside the top 11 and are getting into those final transfer spots. They're running 10th and 11th right now.
Victor Fluger will come out after making some fast repairs. We'll try to work through this field. He has time to be able to do it. He'll start 19th here. He only has to make up 8 positions to break into that top 11. Kyle Adams currently sitting 10th. He's the second to last car in. Him and Bradley Cooper are the last 2 cars. So they will be the buffer wall between them behind them that are out and those ahead of them that are in. And like you said, I think it'll be mass chaos between those cars. So Tristan Pena now on the pole. John Leday to the outside. Stephen Choate and Matt Mingo in row 2. Can Tristan Pena keep it clean and keep it up front here? Green flag out in the air, stack up. Matt Mingo's a little sideways, but we keep it clear. Green into turn 1.
Choate and Leday are still side by side as Pena gets clear off the start. Choate will pull up in front of Leday. I think about half the cars in the field bang the wall and they're wrecking big time at the back. 24 in the air.
At 24, 14 of Ryan Klingler. I think Victor Fluger made it through, but others did not. That's a 24 car. iRacing pace car is out on track. These other cars, Kyle Stewart and Dakota Floyd, trying not to go a lap down here. We'll take a look at the drivertees.com replay to what happened. You saw a stack up here. Matt Mingo did not get a great jump, spun the tires. That mixed up the field here. And looking along with Dakota Floyd in the 24 car here, 3 wide off of turn 2. That did not work between the two of them. Craig Wilcott tried to make it 3 wide, and that didn't work. And then Dakota Floyd almost up on his hood.
Yeah, that started with that 15 car back there. Not exactly sure who he turned. I'm going to figure that out real quick.
That's the 5. That's Bradley Cooper.
Oh, it was Bradley Cooper. Oh, no. Craig
He
Wilcott.
nailed the inside wall as well.
Into the side of Bradley Cooper. I think pretty big damage for most of those cars, but you do get a fast repair in the consolation, so that is one consolation right there.
Yeah, it looks like Bradley has parked it right now. He's 2 laps down. And so I think that sadly might put our boss man out of the possibility to make this feature race. So it's a sad day here in the VSPEED booth. We'll take a look at our replay from drivertees.com. This is the 14 car of, I believe it's Ryan Klingler. So we're live right now, looking along with Klingler. One of the drivers involved in the incident got a fast repair, and that's one of the things you were talking about, Sky. One of the things that you get as a consolation here in the consolation race.
Yeah, and I believe we're going to get one for the main event as well. So if you break your car, as a couple cars did there, you got one chance. Fix all the damage, send it back out there good as new. And these cars are going to need it because they're going to need to hustle back to the field. Worth noting right now, 2 cars did not take the green. It was Peyton Howell who started 8th. Julian Valdez started 12th. Neither of those cars have taken the green in this race. Bradley Cooper is also out 3 laps down. And we have 3 cars, Floyd, Stewart, and Klingler, who are all 1 lap down there. So it's 15 cars still on the lead lap. If no other cautions happen, which there will probably be another caution, those 15 are going to be the ones racing for the last 11 spot.
Well, Stephen Choate and Robert Taylor made up positions in the scuffle there. Green flag is out for Tristan Pena yet again. Stephen Choate to his outside.
Much better start for the outside lane there. Choate staying even with Pena through 1 and 2. We'll get the run down the back straightaway courtesy of running that top line, but he's still only at Pena's corner. As he gets a little high there, that 50 car will be able to pull away on lap 12. Big loose in the back.
Choate a little loose out of the corner there in turn 4. He holds second, but John Leday looking to make a move on the inside here for that second position. Back behind them, Jacob Alexander and Robert Taylor are battling it out here for the 6th position.
Side by side there, side by side for second. We're still going at it, even in the spots that already have the transfers. A little further back, there's going to be battle for 10th here, which is the last car not in the transfers. We're almost going 3 wide there with Alexander in the 90. 66, and Taylor gets run up the racetrack a little bit, cost him a couple positions. They are nearly hitting. We're 3 wide into 1.
3 wide into turn 1. Kyle Adams on the bottom, Jared Shell, then Robert Taylor. Will they make it through 2? Yes, they do. Still 3 wide down the backstretch, now to 2 wide.
Shell has to drop out. He'll go back to 8th. The battle still raging between Kyle Adams and Taylor there. Robert Taylor in the 66. Side by side, 2 rows deep. 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, and we might go side by side. We are side by side for the final transfer between Yankello and Pfluger.
Victor Pfluger coming back from the back of the pack, now on the inside of Anthony Yankello in the 79 car. Victor Pfluger will have it. Yankello backs out, looks to make the crossover, won't have it here. That's Victor Pfluger into the last transfer position as of now. But up in front of them, Jared Shell back to the inside of Robert Taylor. Taylor loose on the outside.
Taylor starting to drop some positions. He started further up in this race. He's been moving towards the back. He started in 6th, back in 9th. Pfluger's on a charge. We know he's quick. Yankello, I don't think he's going to quite be able to catch Pfluger. It might have to be one of the cars like Taylor or Ross that drops back and allows that 79 car one more chance to make the feature. Ross up the inside for 10th.
Ross, Robert Taylor falling back through the field, just stuck on that outside. His car can't hold it, it's loose. Then it's John Ross, now to the inside of Shell, 1 position in front, trying to battle it out for 8th. Shell will get loose. Right behind them, that's Victor Pfluger.
Robert Taylor is side by side for the final transfer spot right now. For 1 spot ahead of the final transfer spot, we're 3 wide. Shell in the wall, that'll drop into the back. Yankello through to 11th for now. Jared Shell needs to get back on it quickly because he's 1 spot out.
Shell into the wall out of turn 2, drops him down to 11th. 1 position out of this transfer. Wow, Robert Taylor is absolutely sideways in front of them. Yankello goes to the inside, trying to move it up into the 10th position. Shell will try to follow him through. Taylor just can't hold that outside.
This is the battle for the final transfer spot with 4 to go. Yankello up to 10th on the inside at 66 of Robert Taylor. Shell currently the last car out in the 66, and Taylor the last car in. We're going to go back single file with 4 to go, and Shell is going to turn the 66 around. Caution is out. Shell is almost on his roof.
Big checkup. Anthony Yankello checked up into the corner. Taylor had 2 behind them, and Shell had nowhere to go. Stack up for the transfer position. Caution out with 3 laps to go. They were single file all out in front of them before that. We'll take a look at our drivertees.com replay. You'll see some of the end of the action right here.
Yeah, a couple cars getting some air there. These cars really kind of bouncy off the ground when you have that T-bone contact like that. That's how you get Shell in the air. Yeah, just got it in the back of the 66, turned him around. Jared Shell given an EOL, and he's going to have a green-white checkered 2 laps to try to make it up.
Well, Shell will pull it down pit road, I imagine, to get some damage fixed. Got to see if he will bring it back out on track after this EOL. Again, we will go to green-white checkered here. That'll be 2 laps when we take the green flag. But Jared Shell getting his fast fix and tires right now. We'll try to make up some of those positions. So, Victor Pfluger has moved it up into 8th position, or 9th right now. Anthony Yankello behind, and Chris Jensen right now is in that final transfer spot.
Robert Taylor came down pit road, so he's 1 lap down. He's looking to go 2. The biggest winner from this caution, Ryan Klingler, who was the first car running 1 lap down. He's going to get his lap back as the lucky dog. He'll restart in 14th. He's 3 positions away from finding himself into the A main.
Well, you know, the bottom line is dominant here at this track, but you know, with this track being made up the way it is, so many lanes within the corners and it being so wide, you are able to make hay on the top and bring up momentum. You saw Robert Taylor, his car just was not sticking, but others, their car able to handle it better than others. So the Klingler starting 14th, one row back from that 11th position that'll be on the inside. Maybe able to make hay on that top line to be able to make up that time that he lost earlier in this race. But I think he's gotten another consolation as being the first car now not one lap down.
Oh, for sure. He's gonna be feeling like the luckiest man on the racetrack, and he's gonna be driving hard, knowing that with 14 cars on the lead lap, Shell and Taylor both out of this race, or both a lap down. He's only got to pass Jansen, Gerhardt, and Wilcott, and he'll be in the A main. He needs to go 3 spots in 2 laps. It's hard, but it is absolutely doable. Back up front, it's Pena, it's Choate, it's Leday, it's Alexander in the top 4 spots. Pace car will pull off, and the green flag will be out for the green-white checkered in the consolation race.
First attempt here at the green-white checker. We look up front there. They're battling. Oh, cars around Victor Pfluger and the 43 of Ryan Klingler. Caution is out.
Yeah, we only made it at about turn 1 there. We've already piled up 4 cars. Not a great start to this heat race at all. And the first lap down, but I believe both of the lap down cars were involved in that. First lap down car to get the lucky dog will be Jared Shell in the 34.
Yeah, excuse me, it wasn't Ryan Klingler there that was involved. It was a 43 car. Down the inside in turn 1, Victor Pfluger, big contact there with the 24 and the 14 of Kyle Stewart.
Yeah, I saw a bunch of cars just get caught up in that one. It was right on the jump. We can take you through the drivertees.com replay. And yeah, Pfluger caught up in it. I mean, there's about 4 cars. You see,
Chris Jansen.
The Larson one. Yeah, Jansen involved.
Wilcott looked like he tried to move before the restart line. And so Jansen had to defend, goes down there into turn 1, gets into Victor Pfluger, and they just get in the way of other cars like Dakota Floyd and Kyle Stewart.
Yeah, luckiest driver in the field right now is going to be Yankello, who just barely dodged that on the top, along with Gerhardt. Lucky break for both of those drivers because they're now 9th and 10th. And how about Ryan Klingler, 11th, being scored after that incident?
Klingler makes it through. I thought that was him that was involved in the 43 car, but luckily for him, it wasn't. That was Chris Jensen. So Klingler up from 14th on that restart into the final transfer spot. That moves Victor Pfluger back 1 down. He is currently sitting 12th out on the field. And Pfluger will be absolutely bringing the fight because we know how fast he is. So the war is not yet over.
Yeah, Dakota Floyd pulled it into the pits, so his day is done. Pending Lucky Dog, I think we'll see if Shell ends up getting a lap back here. I don't think he was involved in the incident, but iRacing might say that he was. We're going to have 13 cars on the lead lap. Pfluger and Jansen are the 2 who are going to be out of it. We're going to see how this shakes out. 2 of the 13 cars on the lead lap will miss the feature.
Yeah, 2 of those cars, that right now is Pfluger and Jansen. Like you mentioned, the only 2 eligible to make the transfer. Everyone else is either a lap down or multiple laps down. Up front, it's still Tristan Pena. Steven Choate here for a second green-white checkered attempt. Green flag is away. 2 to go.
We're back underway. Here's the battle for the final transfer spot. Yankello is 1 spot ahead. Gerhardt's got it on the outside, and it's now Ryan Klingler battling with Victor Pfluger on the outside. As we come to the white flag, it's the 14 and the 80. Who's going to make the feature?
Right now, the 14 and the 80, that's Klingler and Pfluger. Pfluger on the outside, Klingler on the bottom, rounding through turn 2. Klingler still has the advantage. Now, through 3 and 4 up front, it's Tristan Pena that wins with a look. Is back here for the transfer spot. Right now, it's Klingler. Pfluger doesn't have it. Klingler!
Man, what a difference of the race for those 2 cars. Ryan Klingler started in 20th. Spent most of the race a lap down and got the transfer spot versus Victor Pfluger, who started this race on pole and is going to miss out.
Wow. Goes you to show what can change. We're going to send you trackside for the national anthem before the feature race.
Oh, say, can you to see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
We're back here thanks to brother of Kyle Adams, Simone Adams there with the awesome national anthem. And so first we're going to get here, we're going to talk about our feed. Drivers are gridding up, but we're going to interview Justin Brooks, your fast time pole setter. We're going to get him in here and talk about the ultimate challenge and everything looking here ahead tonight. So we'll bring Justin Brooks into the booth here. Justin Brooks, you got me?
Yes, sir. What's going on?
Well, Justin Brooks, you put it on pole here tonight for the Rudolph 250. That gives you the fast time bonus of $5. But the big thing that everyone's going to be talking about tonight is the ultimate challenge. You just got word about it. Will you be starting from the front on pole, or will you be taking the possibility of making the ultimate challenge from the back?
Man, after a lot of deliberation, I honestly thought about doing it, but Kyle really wants a chance of doing it, so I'm going to give him the chance to do it, and I'm just going to have some fun up here, and maybe he'll get wrecked or something in the back.
Okay, there we go. Justin Brooks going to let Kyle Turzak take the ultimate challenge. We'll get to talk with him in just a moment with Sky Shrek. But 250 laps ahead of you, Justin. How do you manage that in a race like this?
The biggest thing is trying to keep up with the track. I'm not sure how it's going to swing on temperature-wise, because I thought it was going to be a little bit cooler and it heated up during the heat. So it's just making the right adjustments right now and then managing my tires, managing my pace. I'm not going to try to go balls to the wall or anything like that. I'm just going to try to ride up front and just keep a pace, keep a fast enough pace to keep it out front, keep it in clean air, but also save my tires the way I want to save them.
So let's say there was an incident and you were sent to the mid-pack or something like that, weren't out front. How would you manage to work through traffic at a race as long as this, 250 laps? That's a long time here tonight. How would you play the strategy like that?
Well, I mean, it's like you said, it's a long race. I mean, I'll be able to buy my time and be able to get through traffic. So I feel like I said, I got a really good piece underneath me. It's really good in traffic, really good up front. It's just, like I said, keeping up the track is all I'm worried about. So, I mean, if it's the way I'm thinking, it's going to be a rocket ship, but we'll see.
Well, we know you're a fast driver, and we now know, we obviously can see from your pole time that you have a fast piece. Hopefully, you're up front all night for yourself, but glad that you have confidence that you could come from the mid-pack. Glad to get to talk to you, Justin. Good luck tonight.
Yep, thank you, guys.
Well, that was Justin Brooks, your pole sitter. We're going to get Kyle Turzak in here, and he caught up with Sky Shrek.
Yeah, Kyle, you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
So we have the ultimate challenge tonight. You go to the back. You get to win $50 if you win. We offered it to Justin Brooks. He declined. Will you be taking that challenge tonight?
Absolutely.
Let's go. All right, Kyle Turzak going to be going to the back to start the race. If you win, you'll win $50. What's your strategy to get up to the field?
Just by my time. You know, it's 250 laps. That's a long race, and like Brooks said, you have to keep up with the track, and you just gotta set them up where you want to be, and make sure you keep the tires on it, and pick them off one by one.
All right, we know you've been very successful in the Misfit Touring Series. You think that's going to carry over here tonight?
I'm sorry, can you say that one more time?
We know you've been very good in the Misfit Touring Series here. You think it's going to carry over to tonight?
Yeah, I think so. You know, these are basically the regular guys. I know Brooks won last week, and I wasn't able to show up. But, you know, I feel like I got a good chance tonight. You know, I got a really good Arcane Tilt Shot machine underneath me with a beautiful scheme. Hopefully get that extra $20 with that, too.
All right, well, good luck on the race tonight. You're going to be starting from the back. We'll see if you can go to the front.
Thank you.
Well, that was Kyle Terzak. He will start from the back. We're going to go through our starting grid here. On pole, it will be Justin Brooks. And so Kyle Terzak will start second, but he will go to the back. So everyone behind Terzak will be advanced by one position. Starting third will be Jake Sylvia, and Justin Crow will be in fourth. Starting fifth will be Alex Coffey in the 19, who is apparently allergic to coffee. Jake Grout in the 49 car will start sixth. In seventh will be Christian Peterson winning his heat race. He'll start seventh. And his outside will be the 84 of Corey Moore. Deegan Smith will start in the 9th position, and John Leday will start in the 10th spot.
Yeah, and going back to the field from here, it's going to be Kyle Adams starting 11th, Matt Urban in 12th. Deegan Smith 13th, Matt Zaccardo 14th. It's Ken Zeems 15th, Victor Fluger in 16th. Charlie Bates 17th, Stephen Choate 18th, and row 10 back here is going to be Tristan Pena and Jacob Alexander.
Right behind them, rounding out our field, will be Peyton Howell in the 52 car, and his outside will be Frank Klein. And then our last two drivers of the night will be Chris Jensen and Craig Wilcott. All of those drivers barely making it in to the feature here tonight.
I think we might have had a little bit of issue with parts of that grid there, but yeah,
I think so
Brooks,
too.
Terzak, Sylvia, Crow, Coffey. Top 5 is correct. Further back, it's going to be a little mixed up. Grout, Peterson, Moore, Smith, Zaccardo will round out the top 10.
And we'll make sure to get you all those drivers, Anthony Yankello, Benjamin Gerhardt, and Ryan Klingler, and John Ross, other guys in the feature here tonight. So we've got 250 laps ahead of us, Sky. And real quick, before we get into the race analysis and everything of that nature, I want to remind the viewers, again, we have the best appearing car challenge tonight. The driver who gets the most votes will win that extra $20. So remember, go and vote on who your favorite driver is, who your favorite paint scheme, and I think we'll be deliberating here in the booth. And at some point when we get some lulls in the action, we'll get to talk to you about our picks. So 24 drivers make up the field tonight, 250 laps ahead. Sky, what do you anticipate that these drivers should have in their mindset for such a long race?
It's a long race, like you said. I think these drivers need to just be patient, be careful, don't get aggressive too early and take yourself out of contention. I know in the Misfit Touring Series, we tend to run about 100 laps. A lot of these drivers are familiar with those races. This is 2.5 times as long. So it's going to be a whole different ball game, and these drivers are going to need to be playing it a lot differently to try to win tonight.
Yeah, although this not a Misfit Touring Series race, it will run under the rules of the Misfit Touring Series, and last week rules were changed. There will be no warnings given out to drivers for incidents. They will immediately be given EOLs and things of that nature because we want to see most of the racing action here tonight clean and good. So these drivers will have to be careful of things like that. Another storyline here tonight, Sky, is the marble buildup at North Wilkesboro. Again, we mentioned it last week in the touring series, but again, for this standalone event, iRacing did an update here last week, and they've upgraded all of the debris. Marbles of rubber are included in that, and we got to talk to Jake Sylvia earlier before the race, and he was telling us by lap 50 there will be marbles all over the racetrack, and if you get your car in that, you will get loose.
Yeah, he did not sound like he was going to be having a good time on these restarts. He said if you're running the top, you pretty much have to clear out your line before the restart, or else that car is going to come out from under you. Here we're seeing Terzak in that number 15 Christmas contender right there, going to the back. He will start this race in 24th, and if he wins, he'll get an extra $50, doubling his prize.
Well, it's going to be awesome to watch him battle to come through the field, so we'll be keeping an eye on that. We'll keep our eyes as much as our sets of 2 eyes can keep on the action, because it will be all over the field here tonight. And I'm so excited to get to talk about it. Race analysis, 250 laps, 2 sets of tires in the pit, so we will see pit stops here tonight at least once, maybe twice. We'll just have to see as we continue on in the action. 1 fast fix for each driver, so if you get involved in an incident, you do have 1 chance to be able to reset your vehicle. I know a lot of drivers might want to save that to the end. Drivers choosing their lanes right now, going high and low. Whoever's on the front always gets to choose their lane. And man, Sky, I can't tell you, I am excited for this race.
It's going to be a good one for sure. North Wilkesboro is a track that always provides. We have so much action in the heats and in the consolation, and I don't think it's going to be any different here tonight. If we can get some green flag runs, I think we're going to have some amazing racing here.
I think so. Justin Brooks on pole on the inside. Then right there, it's the 86 car of Justin Crow. Green flag is out for the 2nd annual Rudolph 250. Caution is out here before the first lap is complete. Drivers around in the backfield. That's the 50 of Tristan Pena and others.
John Leday also involved in that accident. You're watching another car further back there. That'll be the 18 of Charlie Bates. You get the drivertees.com replay here of Bates on the start of the race. Pena immediately goes 3 wide after a bad start from the 23 car, and the 3 of them get sent around. Leday collected as well.
Oh man, big damage before the first lap is even completed. We'll take another look at it here yet again. Right now on board with Tristan Pena, gets reared in from the back and bam, slams the inside wall up on his right sides.
Yeah, almost rolling over there. Another car catching a little bit of air in an incident tonight. Made it about half a lap before that caution flag came out, and I think some of these cars, most notably that 34 of Charlie Bates, are going to have to take a fast repair.
Yeah, I think so. They're going to have to take that fast repair after everything we saw on the drivertees.com replay. Charlie Bates, John Leday now bringing it off of pit road. Looks like they did use their fast repair there. So they have they're not safe anymore. That is it for them already. Again, looking along with the hood of Bates, he'll start in the back now. And Kyle Terzak already up 3 positions.
Yeah, I'm going to say the worst lap to use a fast repair on is probably lap 250. The second worst is lap 1. 3 cars already having to use it. Pena as well, going 1 lap down, trying to fix that damage. Bad start for all 3 of those drivers, but if they can stay clean, they've got 246 laps to move up the field.
Yeah, that's a good thing about a race like this. While you may get upset and you may be frustrated that you already had to use your fast repair, you do have so much time. So you see Matt Urban coming down pit road, or sorry, I thought that was pit road. We're on the backstretch. Hey, he's not bringing down pit road. That's why I was confused. But that's one of the things. There's so much time in this race to make up those positions that these drivers had. We know Tristan Pena was very fast within his heat race. So we'll just have to see if they can recover from this first lap incident. The front row remains the same. Justin Crow is now on the inside, but Justin Brooks is still the control car. Green flag is out. The restart is out for the Rudolph 250 yet again.
Pena claimed the caution, so he'll drop to the back, but back up front, Brooks and Crow are going to be the top 2. Sylvia on the outside, working on Jake Grout for 3rd. They're side by side, every row behind the first 2 cars. Grout's got the run into 3 and 4, but Sylvia won't let him get away.
Sylvia falling back on that outside, just Grout able to carry more momentum through the corner, but Sylvia trying to battle back, gets a little bit loose there, stacks up the cars behind them. That's Corey Moore that moves the 19 up behind them. That's Christian Peterson.
Now it's Alex Coffey looking up to 3rd on the inside of Jake Grout. Moving up through the field early. A couple cars dropping to the outside. Jake Sylvia as well. The preferred line is the bottom. They want to be down there, and that's why you're seeing Peterson drop down there. He's loose out of the corner.
Sylvia able to get back to the bottom, but he's dropped down 4 positions from the start. Jake Grout sideways in turn 4. That's Corey Moore. Keeps it straight off the corner. Jake Sylvia tries to capitalize here on the inside.
He was sliding for a while there. That thing was going for about half the length of the corner, but he manages to keep it straight and keep it out of the cars behind. Sylvia still looking on the inside of Corey Moore, and behind them, Deegan Smith and John Zeems are going at it for 8th. Side by side, both of these battles here in the top 10.
Zeems side by side here with these cars. This is the 90 of Jacob Alexander right behind them. And he's now looking to make a move on the inside again. Deegan Smith stuck on the outside right now, and that's Zach Zaccardo there on the inside. Again, you want to get down to the bottom as quick as possible while you can make hay on the top. It's just not quite as fast as this bottom lane.
Yeah, you're seeing Deegan Smith start to fall through the field here, back to 8th, now back to 9th if John Zeems is going to be able to get around him here. That car moving in the wrong direction unless it can get down in front of Jake Sylvia. And it might be able to here, it will. So Deegan Smith will pull down into 7th in front of Sylvia, and everybody's single filed out there at the top, about 15 spots.
Stop single file for the top 15 cars right now. Justin Brooks on pole, setting the pace of this field. Back in the back, this is Kyle Turzak continuing to work through the field, now working to the inside of the 12 of Matt Mingo. That moves him up into 17th, so already up 6 spots, 7 spots now from the start of this race.
Still single file back here, but Pena, the lap down car, is trying to move up some spots. He's not really racing for anything but fun, but he's still trying to move up through the field here, battling with these cars further back. Matt Mingo in 18th. He's got the speed in that car. If he can get himself back onto the lead lap, he might be able to go somewhere.
Well, I don't think we're worried about having another caution for him to get the chance to be back on the lead lap, but he's better hopes that is before Justin Brooks gets back around to the back of this field, because what we know about Brooks is he is absolutely fast. Right here up front, that's Matt Urban in the 48 car looking to go to the inside of Frank Klein, but he wasn't able to. Now Frank Klein right in front of him trying to go to the inside of Alexander. Whoa. Oh, big move from Matt Urban down to the inside in turn 3.
He whipped that thing hard to the left. Couldn't get the spot though, still stuck behind Matt Klein in the 23, or Frank Klein in the 23. It's Matt Urban behind him in the 48. Klein recovering from that early accident pretty well to get himself back up to 13th. Now under threat from Urban and Adams behind.
Still
49 in the middle there. Car looking under him. We're going to go side by side again. This is a little further up the field. It's Grout, and it is the 84 back there behind him, Corey Moore, who's pulled himself up to, my bad, for 6th and 7th. Can't read the ticker properly right now, but these two are going at it for 6th and 7th. Car ahead of them is Deegan Smith, who's gotten it up to 5th right now. Battle for these positions continuing, but no one diving it side by side quite yet. They are further up, though. Crow and Coffee are side by side for 2nd. We'll see who can get this spot. It's Justin Crow on the outside, Alex Coffee on the inside. Behind Justin Brooks, the leader, Coffee gets the spot. For now, he'll move up 2nd, chasing down the 33. And now they're side by side for 3rd. Crow continues to drop back because that outside lane is just not working very well. Christian Peterson gets the run in the 71 up the inside. Still side by side back there. Deegan Smith, who's been moving up to the field, is in 5th, waiting for something to happen. He'll now stick the nose under Crow, and he'll try to take advantage of this position.
Smith was finally able to get to the bottom there, works into 5th. Peterson is up there working to the inside. They're up in 3rd, but that's Alex Coffey continuing to move through this field, but Brooks currently setting the pace. Man, Coffey is to his right rear.
They're going at it up here at the front, and they're going at it further back. Tristan Pena, he's a lap down, but he wants to pretend that he isn't because he's working on Kyle Adams for 16th. Up ahead of them, that's Turzak in 15th, trying to make a move on the 14 car of Frank Klein. This battle still raging further back as we're finally getting the green flag run underway. Pena peaks at 3 wide. He won't do it.
Kyle Adams looks to the inside. Frank Klein there gets around him. Then down there it's Tristan Pena moving around, but again, he is a lap down still. So back here in the back, it's Frank Klein falling through the field. Charlie Bates now looks to the inside of him right here in turn 3.
Side by side between the 34 and the 44, John Ross, one of the fastest cars in qualifying, had some bad luck in the heats, started out back in the consolation, and he hasn't really been able to move himself up at all. Still running 18th right now in the feature. He's working on Charlie Bates there in that 34 car, who is now working on Frank Klein in the 23 for 16th.
Yeah, Klein just still stuck here on the top, not quite able to make hay. Gets real wide, real loose there in turn number 1. He'll go back to the back. That's the 44. Ross now working to the inside. Klein continues to fall back. Still up front, it's Brooks, Coffey, Peterson, Smith, and Crow, all single file.
Klein started this race in 12th, but he's been on the decline back to 18th. Needs to get that car back under him. He's just been loose. He's been on the top. He's been sliding. Nothing's worked out for that car early on in this race.
Nothing working out there in the back. Looking along with the hood of Alex Coffey. Currently running second. He started in 5th, so he's up 4 spots. Looking at the back of that Justin Brooks Designs car of Justin Brooks. Still, he's been out front for all 28 laps. He'll come to complete lap 28, leading all of them. But Alex Coffey looks to be lurking right there, right behind.
As mentioned, we saw him race a couple days ago on VSPEED in the off-axis paint snow derby, and he was really, really fast. One of the fastest cars in the race. He almost ended up winning it by the end. It's no surprise that he's carried over that speed to these late models here tonight. He is going to bring a real threat to Justin Brooks over these next 220 laps.
I can't remember where it was, but I've heard of Alex Coffey before. Maybe it's in a past league I was able to commentate, but man, it is proving that he is fast here tonight. Now Deegan Smith gets in front of Christian Peterson there for the 3rd position. So Peterson moved up in the field, but now back to 4. Then behind them, it's Corey Moore, Jake Grout, Ken Zeems, Matt Zaccardo, and Choate back there in the top 10.
Man, Deegan Smith was running back in 7th for a while. He was really struggling, got stuck on that top line, got passed by about 4 cars. Since then, he's gotten it back under him. He's moved back up to 3rd. When he's on the inside lane, that car is fast. He just needs to be on the inside lane for that car to be fast.
Kurzak continuing to slowly work through the field. Now he works in front of Jake Sylvia now for 11th, so he's about to break into the top 10. Turzak in 33 laps has made up half the field. Oh, sideways is a 0-0 behind him. That's a 90 of Jacob Alexander. He's in the grass.
No caution is out. He keeps it saved. We stay green, but he's going to drop to the rear of the field, going behind Kyle Adams back here for 18th. We're going to get a DriverTees.com replay of what happened to that 90 car of Jacob Alexander. The 0-0 on the paint scheme. Side by side with Jake Sylvia in the 1 car down here. I think he just gets loose into the corner. Yep, loose into the corner. You see it step out. George Sylvia has to take a detour to the grass.
Alexander was able to keep it somewhat straight, keep it moving forward, so the caution does not come out. Now on the inside of Kyle Adams, trying to battle in the back here. Oh, get to the rear of Kyle Adams. Adams was sideways, but manages to keep it straight.
Man, it's not been a good 5 laps for Jacob Alexander. Spins it into the infield and then almost spins out Kyle Adams. Keeps it straight again, luckily, and in front of Adams, they're back side by side. That's the 44 and the 48 of Matt Urban. John Ross back up to 14th, finally starting to move through the field.
Ross to the inside, started in the back here, was able to transfer through one of the heat races. And now Matt Urban falls back behind him there for the 15th spot. Right there behind them, that's still Kyle Adams still fighting.
Alexander is still looking behind him, but he doesn't seem to have the speed that he would need to make that overtake. Still stuck back there in 17th. Bit of a gap to Klein behind him, who we've seen struggle this race, but he doesn't seem to be making up that time immediately on Kyle Adams.
Yeah, Klein right there back. 0.5 of a second back from Alexander. Alexander 0.2 back from there. Meanwhile, up front here, battle in the top 10. Wow, sideways is a 72 of Choate. Sideways through turn 2.
We saw these, or we heard these drivers earlier Talking to Jake Sylvia, like you said, talking about how loose it is on the top with the marbles. We're seeing a lot of cars get loose on the inside too. That's 72 at Choate, almost spinning it on the very bottom of the racetrack. I think the lesson to take from that is it is loose everywhere here as he gets around Zaccardo in the 60.
Yeah, with one of the changes made to this late model stock, they lowered the rear end by 1 inch. That has made this car significantly looser than it was in the past. Meanwhile, back here in the back, Matt Urban to the inside of Kyle Adams, battling back here for the 15th spot. Right in front of them, that's John Ross, creating a hole up. Matt Urban sideways through turn 2.
Yeah, we're going to see a lot of saves on the exit of these corners today. Matt Urban making another one right there, almost losing it on exit of 2. Has a much better exit of 4. He's able to stay in hot pursuit to Kyle Adams in front of him. Big loose again further back there. Zaccardo is really struggling right now. He's been passed by the ultimate challenger, Kyle Terzak.
Terzak now breaks into the top 10 for the first time tonight. Now he looks ahead to Steven Choate in the 9th position. Terzak continuing to move through this field. Right now he's running 18.9s while the rest of people in front of him are running in the 19s. So he is faster up until the 5th position of Peterson and Deegan Smith. Those guys are running around the times of Terzak. So Terzak faster than at least the 6 cars in front of him.
Terzak is fast. We know that. He qualified 2nd. He has moved up 14 spots here in the first 44 laps of this race. Reminder, if he wins this race after starting from the back, he gets an extra 50 bucks added on to his win total tonight. That'll double it to 100 total, claimed by Terzak. He's up to 9th now around the 72 at Choate, looking for those top spots.
Yeah, Jake Rout is the next car to him, 1.1 seconds ahead. Meanwhile, Brooks and Coffey still glued nose to tail between the two of them. And Brooks is just manning the pace of this race. And I think so is Coffey. They're confident to run right here, nose to tail, just saving tire, making it to the first pit stop. Again, we don't know when that will be. That could be cut at the half of this race. These drivers do have 2 sets of tires available, but I don't think they'll only pit once tonight, Sky.
We definitely know Coffey is fast. I think he is just going to bide his time here until either Brooks makes a mistake or something happens that he can get around him really quickly. As for pit strategy, I think it remains to be seen here with these drivers. We know the tires maybe aren't as important on these cars after the iRacing update. We'll see if that plays a role in the ending of this race, but we know that you can run upwards of 100, 125 laps on a set of tires in these cars, and it won't affect you too much.
Yeah, and let's not forget about Deegan Smith right there lurking in the backfield. Again, for those of you drivers who are viewers who have not been able to watch our Misfit Touring Series, Deegan Smith did excellent in Season 1. Last year, he was in 3rd in the point standings, but this year hasn't had as hot of a run as he did in Season 1, so he's looking to make a better appearance here tonight in the Rudolph 250, currently running 3rd and lurking behind Alex Coffey and Justin Brooks, looking for one of them to make a mistake.
Oh, for sure, but I don't think they're going to make it. These are 2 of the best drivers we have, 1 and 2, and Coffey will take a peek to the inside of Brooks. He saw lap 50 on the ticker, and he decided it was time to go. He'll take a look to the inside, but he won't get there, and he'll immediately pull back behind the 33. Still Justin Brooks in the lead.
Alex Coffey looked for the inside right there, but wasn't quite able to do it on the exit of turn 2. He'll reside back to the position of second, again up 3 spots from the start. Now there's a 2-car length gap between these 2 drivers.
Coffey dropping to the LDL, dropping a little bit back after that move. Still has the speed though. I think he'll be able to catch back up to Brooks here pretty shortly. We know he's fast. We know what he can do in these late models. He's just got to show it if he can get back up to that car. Got a 50-lap green flag run here, though, and that's going to do a number on those tires. Zeems is in 7th. He's been moving up. He's trying to track down Crow in 6th.
Yeah, Ken Zeems up 7 spots from the start of this race, just under 3/10, get back to the 86 car of Justin Crow. Justin Crow started on the outside of the front row here tonight after Terzak went to the back. So Crow has fallen a few positions from the start of this race. Meanwhile, Zeems looking to move farther forward.
He's been one of the surprise drivers. We didn't know a lot about him coming in, but he's in that kind of all-black paint scheme, made a really good run today. gotten himself up to 7th. He was fast in qualifying. He was fast in the heat races, and he's fast again in the feature, keeping good pace with these cars in front of him who we've seen be regulars at the front of the Misfit Racing.
Yeah, Ken Zeems, driver to look at here tonight. Another to look at is Corey Moore. Meanwhile, I look back up front. Alex Coffey has fallen to 4th.
I'd imagine he's just saving tire at this point. I mean, dropping that many spots, maybe
He's
he got
back
a little loose there.
1.5 seconds from Christian Peterson in 3rd.
Yeah, maybe he got a little loose there and dropped some spots, but I'd imagine now that he is back there, he's going to let these cars go. He's just going to take care of what he has. Long race in front of him.
Long race in front of him, like you said, just under 200 laps. Caution is out here at lap 58.
Gonna figure out where this happened. Oh, that is John Ross in the 44, slow on the apron. I'm gonna take you to a replay and see how this happened, sponsored by drivertees.com.
Well, we'll take a look back here. This is the 44 of John Ross. It was running back right outside of the top 15. And again, he's on the bottom here in 1 and 2. That's Jake Sylvia and, oh, it's Tristan Pena. Gets into the back of a lap car, Tristan Pena. And now I'm looking at our scoring pylon, and Tristan Pena is now 2 laps down after this incident. So Pena gets real loose out of turn 2 and nowhere to go for the driver of Ross.
Yeah, Pena slides down the track right in front of the 44 car. I mean, it sucks when a car does that. It sucks even more when it is a lap down car racing with the leaders who does that, I'll tell you what.
Well, and with Justin Brooks being so fast, I believe he had put Tristan Pena a 2nd lap down, because I'm looking at Benjamin Gerhardt is our first driver 1 lap down. So Tristan Pena will not get the lucky dog. I imagine it will be the driver of the 35, Benjamin Gerhardt. We're going to go to commercial break real quick. We'll be back after lap 60 of the Rudolph 250.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Looking to 62 laps complete here already in the Rudolph 250. Drivers have chosen their lanes here for this restart. Justin Brooks chooses the high line like he did last time. That'll put Deegan Smith on the inside in row 1. Right behind them will be Christian Peterson and Alex Coffey. All these cars up front have been fast here tonight, Sky. And one thing that we're going to get to talk about, these marbles playing waste to some of these drivers in the back. That's what we saw cause our incident that brought us here under the caution. But now, Justin Brooks, still the control car, still out front. iRacing pace car down to the pit lane. Green flag is out here, back to complete lap 63.
Justin Brooks and Deegan Smith will lead him off in second. Brooks gets clear of the 9 car, heading back down the back straightaway. Coffey and Peterson side by side for third. We know Coffey doesn't want to run the top because we know he hates those marbles. Said it in chat, the marbles are dangerous. He wants to be further down in the middle to try to stay away from those things on the top line.
They truly are. Looks like he'll get to the inside here, but now moves to make the crossover on Peterson into turn 3. Now, Coffee to the inside of Peterson here to complete lap number 65. Battle for third is on.
Coffee is fighting back. We saw him drop from second back to fourth, but we know he has the speed in that car to go contend for the lead, and he's doing it right now. Trying to take down one of the fastest cars in the Misfit Racing League, Christian Peterson. Terzak behind him in fifth now, trying to make a move on that 71 car. You're seeing what happens when you get shoved up to the top. Really easy to go to the back, and Coffee is in the wall.
3 wide here out of turn 2. They'll make it work and make it through. Now Terzak moving to the inside. He's almost up to third. All the way from the back of this race, he will solidify himself into third, but Coffee looking to pull the momentum off the turn 4 back to the inside, but he won't do it. Terzak into third.
Coffee's got the speed. We know he can run with Brooks. It's just a matter of does he want to push the tires so much to get back up through there to do it. Meanwhile, while these guys are having a great battle for fourth, look at fifth place. Ken Zeems having a great run today. He's moved himself up into fifth, and now he's got his sights set on Alex Coffee, trying to get that move done for fourth.
Ken Zeems up into fifth, but now caution is out. Right behind them, that's Anthony Yankello.
Yankello around along with Jake Grout in the 49. See how this happened here on our drivertees.com replay between the 49 and the 79.
Yeah, Jake Grout, one of those cars that came to pit road under our caution. Looking here at Jake Grout and Yankello right here through turn 2. Oh, just looks like Grout got too close.
Yep, just got into the back of the 79 in the corner and sent the Skyline chassis machine sideways.
Yeah, Grout will probably, yep, he will get the EOL for that incident, so he will go to the back of this field. While we were under caution, under pit commercial break earlier, Justin Crow, Matt Urban, and others came down pit road, but now others are coming down pit road for their first pit stops. Christian Peterson and Steven Choate are 2 of those.
Interesting strategy here. We know you've got 2 extra sets of tires in the pits. This feels like maybe a little early to put one on. If you were trying to stretch the race into thirds, you maybe come down around lap 90, and I'm sure there'll be no shortage of cautions here over the next 180 laps to get that spot done. A little bit of an early pit stop here, a bit of a different strategy call from some of these guys who are running towards the front.
Yeah, it looks like a lot of these guys that have pitted were running outside of the top 10, so might be trying to do something different, get off strategy with the leaders to try to be different and maybe make some hay on those new tires. We're just going to see how that works out for them. We'll try to best keep you in the loop of who is on what kind of tires throughout this race. Again, I want to remind you viewers, make sure that you are voting who has the best Christmas theme paint scheme here, and they will win a $20 for the best appearing car. Sky, what are some of your top picks right now?
I mean, we got a lot of really good ones in the field tonight, and you've seen some of them up front. Kyle Terzak, long contender in that 15 machine. I think we had a couple cars go out in the heats, like Kyle Stewart that had some really good cars. I think Terzak right now up front, though. Not only is that thing pretty, but it's fast, too.
That thing is a pretty, and it's a piece out there on the racetrack. He'll start third on the outside. Justin Brooks chooses the outside yet again. He is the control car. Alex Coffey in the second row behind them. Deegan Smith on the inside. Green flag is out yet again in the 250.
Terzak immediately trying to push, or my bad, Deegan Smith immediately trying to push. We're showing both cars in the number 15 here tonight. It's Deegan Smith in second right now. Terzak in third, under threat from Alex Coffey. 2 Christmas cars doing battle, third and fourth, and to complete lap 1.
Single filed out there for the top 5. Meanwhile, John Leday on the outside of Matt Zuccardo here, back battling for the 6th position.
Side by side, still at the back of the field. While they've gotten it worked out for the top 5, they haven't further back. Zuccardo gets up the inside of Leday, and he'll get the spot, but he's loose out of the corner. That's going to allow Sylvia a little bit of a run, but he won't be able to make anything happen with it. Leday is trapped on the top, and he is going to the back.
Leday trapped on the top. Meanwhile, Zuccardo was loose out of turn 2. That allowed Jake Sylvia to get to the inside, trying to work into the 6th position. Earlier in this race, he fell back to 11th. Now he's trying to work his way back to the front, back to the top 5.
It's Kyle Adams on the top of John Leday. Look who's gotten himself up to 11th. That is Ryan Klingler in the 36 car, up 13 spots, our biggest mover of this race. He made it to the feature on a side-by-side battle with Victor Pfluger to the line, and now he's about to get himself up into the top 10 here if he can get around John Leday. Great run for him in the opening 80 laps of this race.
It was a great fight to see between the two of them. Meanwhile, the 86 is on fresh tires of Justin Crowe right in front of them. Meanwhile, Corey Moore back here in the back. We saw him running up front earlier, but hasn't quite been able to make the hay. He's down on the inside of Ryan Klingler here into turn 3.
Side by side, further back, couple spots. We're going even further back. It's Christian Peterson who's looking up the inside of Alexander there for 14th. Oh, big wreck, couple cars around. That is Bates in the 34.
That's Bates in the 34, John Leday, others around. Looks like Benjamin Gerhardt, Anthony Yankello, and others were involved here in this incident on lap 81.
John Leday, one of those drivers who's already had to use the fast repair. Same with Charlie Bates, so they're going to have to deal with the damage on their cars from this incident. We'll see it happen here. 24, looks like that is Kyle Adams getting into the side of Charlie Bates, sending him around, and Leday is just collateral.
Oh man, that is one of the most frustrating when something happens in front of you and you're just not able to get back out in front of them. Looking along the hood or the back bumper here of Kyle Adams, looking at John Leday right behind them. He gets in contact here out into turn 1. So looking here on the outside, this is Charlie Bates, Kyle Adams into turn 1. Bates gets loose on the outside. Adams makes contact, goes to the grass, and John Leday nowhere to go.
That looks like it might have been a little bit of net code too. At least on that replay, looks like there was a little bit of contact between the 24 and the car behind him. We'll see on the onboard of Kyle Adams if that was the case or not. Yeah,
if it was, it was going to be close between the two of them. We'll look at what race control will decide if this is a racing incident or someone will get an EOL. So we'll just have to, that will remain to be seen. But it will be a sad news for Kyle Adams if he did, because he'd made his way all the way back up to 9th after being mired back in the 16th spot earlier.
Yeah, he was one of a couple of cars who had really been moving. Seen some cars in the pit lane right now. Stephen Choate, Jake Grout, Jacob Alexander, Yankello, Mingo, Urban, and Bates, all in the pits on that caution.
So more people coming down pit road to make service and get their first set of tires here in this race. Grout's paint scheme is pretty nice. One of those drivers to be looking at in the best appearing car in that Minion 49. We got a lot of cool paint schemes out there for the Rudolph 250. Drivers choosing lanes right now for this next restart. Justin Brooks, I think he finally chose the bottom. You'll never know with Justin Brooks. He chooses the bottom, he chooses the top. It's always different. I think we're going to pace car. The lights will come back on. We're going to stay out here another lap. The first car on fresh tires is Justin Crowe-Sky. He's been working his way through the field slowly but surely.
Yeah, he's got speed. We know Crowe is always fast. This is no exception. You get him on fresh tires, he will be moving through the field. We were mentioning Jake Grout there, driving the 49 VT driver out of Vermont. Knows a thing or two about the cold weather up there. I'd imagine pretty chilly right now.
He definitely does know a little bit about the cold weather. I wouldn't know about it being all the way down here from Mississippi. We don't get the cold too often. I think yesterday it was 70 degrees or so outside on December 19th. But here, today, it's colder in the sim up in North Wilkesboro, North Carolina. As we continue on the Rudolph 250, Justin Crowe to the inside, Deegan Smith to the outside. Green flag is out.
Pretty even start between those two cars. No one really getting an advantage, but Brooks will start to pull away as we head into turn 1. Sideways through the corner for Brooks after Deegan Smith checked it into the wall. Deegan Smith into the back of Brooks. Cars around. Coffee spinning in the back.
Coffee spinning in the back. Brooks was
someone ARCA brakes. We had a car flipped.
Big ARCA brake. That's Kyle Adams up on his lid.
Oh my goodness. We are going to have to take a drivertees.com replay because somebody came
We might have
flying
taken a few
in
of them.
like a cannonball. That was Bates in the 34, driving like his brakes did not function and flipping Kyle Adams over Coffee onto his roof.
Yeah, Brooks got contact there with Deegan Smith. Smith was able to right him and keep him from going around. That checked up the field. Alex Coffey got sideways, and from behind them, it was just a huge stack up. So we're going to have to take a look here back at the back at what this domino effect caused. You saw Kyle Adams up on his hood. We'll take a look back from the initial restart. Again, this is Justin Brooks on the inside, Deegan Smith on the outside. Smith comes here out of turn 2, clears down very close to Brooks here. They make contact heading into 3, and we'll take the slow-mo to take a look deeper into what happened.
Yeah, Charlie Bates was given a black flag for that accident, for that ARCA break there. This is the initial contact. This is Deegan Smith into the back of the 33. Justin Brooks gets him loose. Actually kind of straightens him out here with this bit of contact, but further back in the field, they were racing for 4th, and Alex Coffey got turned around by the 90 Azeem's there. Kyle Adams, nowhere to go, gets the T-bone, and while that's going on, you're going to see Charlie Bates come into frame like a heat-seeking missile, hits 1 car, 2 car, 3 cars, and Kyle Adams goes tumbling over the roof of Alex Coffey.
I didn't know Charlie Bates.
And Charlie Bates has left the session after that.
I didn't know he was going to come in like a pinball. I imagine he had too much damage to carry on. He uses fast repair earlier. We're taking a look at his hood. Yeah, just didn't break. I think maybe he accidentally pressed the clutch.
I do not know. I got no idea. I got no suggestions.
Well, we got drivers coming down to pit road to make some repairs. Most of the drivers involved in that incident had not used their fast repair yet. Kyle Adams brums off pit road now. Other drivers came down to pit road to make repairs. We're still out on track. Justin Brooks still up front, chooses the outside. Kyle Turzak moves to the inside. Justin Brooks leads into turn 1. Turzak in second. Battle for third between Zeems and Zaccardo.
You're looking at the top 7 here. These are the 7 cars who have not hit yet for any reason. Everybody else has come down either for a fast repair or for tires. This top 7 pack from Brooks back to Klingler are all still on the same tires they started with. They've all still got their fast repairs. They're the only 7 cars that have to pit. 3 wide for 8th.
There was a quick moment. Ryan Klingler, Corey Moore made contact in turn 1. Moore was loose. That allowed Peterson to get a huge run and move past the 2 of them on the outside and made it 3 wide. Peterson now up into 6th. He's on the freshest tires so far.
Someone almost spun further back, I believe. That's the 24 car. That was Frank Klein, who almost got turned. Managed to save it, but he free falls back to 14th. Now he's fallen back to the battle between Pro, who just pit again to fix damage, and Alexander.
Yeah, Frank Klein there in that 23 machine, trying to work to the inside here now. This is Matt Urban fighting on the outside. And that's a 0-0 of Jacob Alexander and Deegan Smith, or that's Alex Coffey down on the inside trying to come back for the back after incident.
A lot of the drivers who have used their fast repair have kind of gotten stuck at the back. The only fast repair driver in the top 12 right now is John Ross. Meanwhile, most of the cars in the back half of the field have taken one.
Most of the cars have taken one here. Big battles still going on in the back. But look at that right front damage on Alex Coffey's car, currently running 16th, trying to work around the lap car of Tristan Pena, but they're slow in front of him. Let's try to work around this. Whoa, big loose for Frank Klein. He's sideways in turn 4. Manages to save it.
That car's gotten really loose a lot this race. That thing is struggling off the corners, in the corners, down the straightaways. No matter where Frank Klein is on this racetrack, that thing seems like it wants to go around on him.
Fighting for every inch that he's able to take on this racetrack, just not able to hold it. Here, still looking along with Alex Coffey, but up to Anthony Yankello. He's trying to work to the inside of who's in front of him. That is Klingler, the Klingler. And then right behind them, this is Matt Mingo and others fighting behind them, Stephen Choate.
Yankello we saw involved in an incident recently. already back up to 10th, taking advantage of some of those cautions that he wasn't involved in. To move himself back up to the field, we're on lap 99 at 250. Yankello, big loose, and that's going to allow Choate to the inside.
Choate, we saw him running in the top 10 earlier before he made a pit stop. He is coming to the pits and now trying to move back up into the top 10. He will in front of Anthony Yankello. Yankello thinks about throwing into turn 1, but he won't. Steven Choate now up to 10th.
Moving back up through the field, like you said, he's got a lot of speed.
Oh, big wreck! Jacob Alexander in the wall.
Yeah, that's Alexander. That's the 12 car back there. I believe Matt Mingo. And
Bill
now
Green.
Frank Lyon almost moves Mingo out of the way. A lot of contact back there. We're going to DriverKings.com replay of what happened.
Looking back here at these drivers in the back, Jacob Alexander had a big moment here in turn 1. We'll take a look back at what happened. Oh, it was the 12 of Matt Mingo that got really sideways. Alexander had to check up, bring it to the outside. Again, no caution for this incident. We are still green out on track right now. So this is Matt Mingo all the way in the back.
It was Coffey who slid into the back of Mingo and almost sent him around there. So maybe a little more damage on Alex Coffey. He'd taken the fast repair, but a little more, or actually Alex Coffey hasn't taken a fast repair. He was the only car involved in that wreck who didn't take a fast repair. So a little more damage on that car.
Yeah, man, Matt Urban real loose here through turn 3 and 4. Loses 2 positions to Deegan Smith and Jake Grout. That puts him down to 14th. Meanwhile, 5 cars stacked together in front of them. This is Steven Smith, Deegan Smith on the inside of Ryan Klingler. Goes around him real easy here for 11th position.
Like I said, Ryan Klingler was the biggest mover earlier, but on those old tires, he started to fall. He was 7th when we restarted. Now he's getting blown past by these cars who have hit for tires. Crow, Smith, Choate, all on newer rubber, and Klingler continues to free fall back to 14th. Corey Moore, next car who's taking old tires up the road.
Yeah, trying to save for as long as they can, but Klingler just not able to hold on to it. Looking back up front, this is Christian Peterson and Corey Moore right behind him, battle for 6th position. Again, we've seen a lot out of the 84 tonight. He has proven to be fast, but right in front of him, oh, that's Ken Zeems, right, having some contact there with Jake Sylvia.
Yeah, near miss between those 2 cars, but we keep it straight. This is the battle for 3rd. Great race for Ken Zeems. He's come in here and he's shown a lot of speed today. But Jake Sylvia trying to get himself up onto the podium. They'll stay side by side down the straightaway. Sylvia gets the nose ahead into 3.
Sylvia nose ahead right there into 3rd position in front of Ken Zeems. Meanwhile, there's a 2.8 second gap to leaders Justin Brooks and Kyle Turzak, but Sylvia now in front of Zeems, and that's Matt Zaccardo there on the back bumper trying to make it up to 4th.
Couple cars who have come flying through the field here tonight using those old tires as their strategy, making some good spots out of it. Meanwhile, Christian Peterson might have had an issue back there. Corey Moore has gotten back around him on 100 lap older tires. And yeah, now the battle up here is for the lead. Brooks and Turzak for 1 and 2.
Yeah, Turzak still just under 0.3 of a second back from leader Justin Brooks. Again, Brooks has led every lap of this race so far. Wow, lap car, Matt Mingo there on the outside. Back here, this is Christian. Well, now we're back up to the front. Turzak closing in on Justin Brooks ever so slightly, Sky. It's almost now under 0.2.
Yeah, Brooks has led almost every lap this entire race, but Turzak was about half a tenth faster last time around. He's got speed in that car clearly, and he's making it work for him at the moment. This time around, Brooks is a little faster. Fastest car on the racetrack. Turzak 2nd. 3rd fastest car on the racetrack on 113 lap old tires. Corey Moore.
Yeah, Moore running an 18.5 right now, but he is absolutely fast in that 84. Gotta wonder how fast he'll be when he's able to make a pit stop again. Top 6 right now, all on old tires. Everybody else behind them is pitted except Ryan Klingler and Tristan Pena. They are the only 2 cars yet to pit. Meanwhile, Alex Coffey working to the inside of Deegan Smith here out of turn 2. This is a battle for 11th. Caution is out further behind.
We'll see who got involved in that. Might have been Yankello. Yankello appears to be off the pace. He was going about 40 miles an hour there for a second. We'll see how this how that happened on driverkeys.com replay.
Yeah, Yankello at the back of the lead lap cars right now. We'll take a look at our driverkeys.com replay. Oh, someone around under caution. We'll take a look at that in a minute. But again, oh, it's the 49 car of Grout getting sideways in front of Yankello. So
My bad.
Grout is a spinner. You're good. Grout is a spinner in turn 1. Oh, I have contact from Frank Klein.
That was what I was saying when I saw someone was around under caution.
Okay.
My iRacing was delayed by about 2 laps, and I saw Jake Grout spin it on like a spectator cam, and I was like, whoa!
Well, that was the incident. Now, drivers coming into pit road. This is all of your leaders up front in pit road, and many behind them follow into pit road for fresh tires.
Everybody who hadn't pit yet is gonna do it now. That includes Brooke, Terzak, Sylvia, Peterson, even some of the cars who have pit. Guys like Coffee coming back down, Crow coming back down. A lot of pit stops being made here early about halfway through this race.
Yeah, John Ross, Matt Urban up front. We're just under halfway to the front of this race. Everybody coming off pit road. Looks like mostly the order they came in. I think Zach Zaccardo fell a spot. Few others getting out when they were able to. Other cars stayed out. Matt Mingo, Steven Choate, Jacob Alexander.
First car when we go back green here is looking like on the scoring pylon, John Ross in the 44, who will restart on pole. He pit 57 laps ago, kind of on his own program on terms of tire strategy. Matt Urban will start on the front row with him, pitting 36 laps ago.
Yeah, Matt Urban, we saw how loose he was earlier in this race, decided to bring it down pit road, just could not handle it on those old tires any longer.
Yeah, it appears the only cars not pitting there are going to be Jake Rout, because he wants to get the wave around. Frank Klein, who, he did pit, he's just been in the pits for 2 minutes and it hasn't updated. And then John Ross and Matt Urban. Only 2 cars on the lead lap stayed out.
Yeah, only 2 cars will stay out up front, though. We'll see how that works for them on the front row. Meanwhile, Jacob Alexander, Steven Choate, and them 2 got out away first. I imagine they took less fuel. So Justin Brooks and Kyle Terzak in row 3. Green flag is out for Matt Urban and John Ross.
Different look to the front 4 positions from what we've seen. Look at Terzak from the top rope. Terzak is going for it. He's already got that thing on the inside of 3 wide. And now he's trying to make the move on John Ross, who's starting to fall through this field. Those old tires not working. Brooks is around into the wall hard.
Leader of Justin Brooks, who has led the entirety of this race up until now, is in the outside wall.
Oh my goodness, into the inside wall too there.
That's going to be some extra
Brooks.
damage.
That is the danger of going back to the mid-pack, is it can end in disaster like it did for Justin Brooks right there.
You saw it right there on lap number 1. It was 4 wide in turn 1. Justin Brooks looked like someone made contact into the back of him coming out of turn 4. Ken Zeems.
See him on the inside of Brooks here. Oh, he put the apron and got up the racetrack, and that's how that started. Zeems around Brooks hard at the inside wall. A couple other cars like Klingler back there just getting collected.
Yeah, it looked like Zeems was coming up the track. Looked like Brooks was coming down the track. So it might have been a little bit of an incident. Nah, it looks like Zeems came up a little bit more there than I might have imagined. Big contact for Ryan Klingler to the front of Justin Brooks. Justin Brooks, I imagine, will have to use his fast repair here.
Oh, for sure. A lot of damage on that race car. If he wants to get it out quickly, he'll need to use it, and we will check, and he has, in fact, used it.
He used it. I just Got to take it back to a moment there. We'll take it back after this commercial break. We'll be right back as we come to complete halfway in the Rudolph 250.
Whoa there, Rudolph! Ho, ho, ho! Wishing you a very Merry Christmas!
Get ready. 3, 2, 1.
But Jim can't hold off the animal much longer. Suddenly, the angry reindeer grinds him into the dirt.
Officially halfway complete here tonight in the Rudolph 250. A big mix-up after a big stack up there out of turn 4 has changed the integrity of this field. Kyle Turzak is now up front, Steven Choate to the outside, Jake Sylvia and Christian Peterson all right there in the first 2 rows. Green flag is out and we're away here to complete lap 126.
Steven Choate took 2 tires on that pit stop. Everybody came down for 4 except for that 72 car. He had a pit stop half the length of everybody else, only taken 2. That's what's gotten him up into second, while these cars who took 4 are a battle further back, Sylvia, Peterson, Deegan Smith, and Jacob Alexander.
Sylvia down on the inside of Christian Peterson in that Skyline 71. He'll prevail here out of turn number 1, but Peterson looks back to the inside to defend. Deegan Smith now on his outside.
Side by side for 4th. Alexander's gotten really loose there in that 90 car, but he's kept it under him. See him sliding pretty much every time he goes down into the corner. But he's been able to hold on to this battle, not letting go of Smith and Peterson just yet. Smith will get clear around the outside.
Yeah, Smith able to make that outside work, really hold on those fresh tires. Won't be able to do that for long as Jacob Alexander looks to the inside of Christian Peterson here to battle into the top 5.
Side by side again. Peterson is looking on Alexander looking on Peterson. Zaccardo watching and waiting. Justin Crow, who we know has a lot of speed, running in 8th, looking to make himself a couple spots there and get up towards the front of the field.
Yeah, Zaccardo been running the top 10 all night long tonight. Christian Peterson, caution is out further in the back.
Tristan Pena is around.
Pena is around. He was back on the lead lap early. Well, he hasn't gone back to the lead lap. He's still 1 down, but trouble for him in the backfield.
This is the second wreck he's been involved in while trying to get his lap back. We'll take a look at the VSPEED DriverTees.com replay here of what exactly happened to Tristan Pena. Ooh, he is a bystander. Kyle Adams gets into Klingler. Pena is kind of stacked up in that, and then in a completely unrelated incident, Matt Urban gets sideways.
Yeah, taking a look back here on the hood of Tristan Pena. Oh yeah, just gets nowhere for him to go. Went down to the grass and wasn't really able to make a move. So Pena, just an innocent bystander here in this contact from Kyle Adams and the Klingler. Okay, the 18 got sideways first. Or the 48 of Urban.
Yeah, he got sideways. That checked up the 14 back there, Ryan Klingler. Did not check up enough was Kyle Adams, who kind of got into the back of that 14 car. and yeah, Pena just kind of along for the ride.
Yeah, Kyle Adams been trying to survive here in the middle going of this race, 4 laps down. But yeah, as you can see, just a stack up here in turn 1.
Yep, that's how it shakes out. Urban narrowly avoids some more contact there with Pena, trying to get that thing back up on the racetrack.
Well, we're going to go ahead and take a moment to look at some of our cars that have these awesome Christmas schemes on them tonight. If you haven't made your pick yet, take a look now. This is a 49 car of Jake Grout with the Minion Christmas paint scheme. He's on pit road, looking to make a move back onto pit road, off of pit road. So he's one of our drivers with an awesome paint scheme here tonight.
Yeah, we got a couple others towards the front of the field. Kyle Turzak, who's leading the race, has one right now. We're looking at Klingler in that 14 car. That's one of my personal favorites in the field. I think that one definitely in my top 3 there for Ryan Klingler.
Yeah, Klingler looks good, and like you said, Turzak absolutely looking good in that number 15 car. Before we go back green, want to make a note, Justin Brooks is 13 laps down. So he will not have a chance to be able to win the Rudolph 250 today. That leaves Turzak on the outside, Stephen Choate on the inside, green flag, they dive to turn 1.
You might forget about it with how he's driven, but Kyle Turzak started at the back of the field tonight. He's up front now, and if he wins this race, he will claim an extra $50 for his troubles, taking him up to $100 on the night if he can get it done. Deegan Smith, meanwhile, is trying to get the move done on Choate for second.
Big send into turn 1, and Choate is loose off of turn 2. Had to give Smith the line he would like to take into turn 3 to move into second position. Choate is down to third on those 2 tires.
Smith has got the move up to second. I'm surprised at how well Choate's been able to hold it on there. He's driven really well to keep it in that top 3 when he didn't appear to have the pace for it before that pit stop. Sylvia still 4th, Peterson still 5th, and Alexander is side by side with Zaccardo for 6th.
Zaccardo scrapes the wall there out of turn 4. Now Alexander moves up into 5th. They are tightly packed here, 3rd through 7th, trying to make hay, make position here in the backfield. Meanwhile, it's still Turzak out front, but back here, look at how stacked up they are. That's Ken Zeems on the inside.
Saw him in an accident earlier in that big Alex Coffey wreck. Trying to move it back up through the field. He's into 8th right now on Justin Crow. Coffey also trying to move it back up through the field in 11th right now ahead of Corey Moore.
I was going to say, speaking of Coffey, just not able to have the speed he did earlier. I imagine that front wheel has some damage, so he's back in 11th. And this is a lap car of Klein right in front of him, but he's another driver with an excellent paint scheme. Taking a look here on the right front camera, love this view here, diving into turn 3, just rounding the bottom. You can see the toes a little bit out here on this car as he runs 11th, Alex Coffey.
Yeah, following the lap down car of Ryan Klein around the racetrack, got 23, 3 laps down. We've seen quite a few lap cars who are racing as if they are not lap cars today, trying to go at it for positions. Klein is one of them. We've seen Pena mix it up with the leaders a bunch. Jake Grout also having some fun back there.
It's really difficult when you got a fast machine under you, but you're stuck a lap down. Kind of want to show the viewers and show off yourself what you can do as a driver. Ken Zeems looks to work to the inside of Justin Crow here. They've been side by side for the past 4 laps. They still haven't decided who's going to go where in this battle for 8.
I'd imagine Zeems is going to get the spot in the end because Crow is stuck on that outside. Not only is it slower, but you burn tires, and we're trying to go 3 wide behind. Luckily, they'll single file it out. Matt Urban prevailed, but I, for a second, thought that the lap down car of Klein was going to go for it there.
Yeah, I thought that was going to go for it. This is Zach Zaccardo on the inside of Alexander. Remember, Alexander took that position from him just a few laps ago, but Zaccardo trying to set up the pass to get back by him. Swings wide in turn 2, but then tries to make a setup. This is Jake Sylvia on the inside of Stephen Choate for 3rd position.
Side by side for Peterson and Choate back there for 4th. Peterson will get the spot. He'll look on Sylvia. Once Choate got moved up to that outside, it was over. He dropped 2 spots, and now he's got the 90 of Alexander, who's shown a lot of speed in the middle part of this race, trying to move himself into the top 5.
Alexander. We saw him loose earlier, and we're seeing him a little bit loose now, heating up those rears. You gotta wonder if he's gonna be able to hold the car down as he heats up those rear tires, trying to make a move on Steven Choate. Meanwhile, Alex Coffey gets around Matt Urban. That moves Coffey up into the top 10 for the first time since the incident, but Urban, not yet done, slides it down on the inside here in turn 3, loose off of turn 2.
Really loose for both of those cars. Matt Urban is trying to make the move. Oh, he's really loose again, clipping the apron and falling back towards Klein, who tried to sneak to the outside, couldn't do it. Now Klein will look back up the inside of these cars, run them a little high. The lead lap car's got to be getting upset with that 3-lap down machine holding them up.
Yeah, Klein chose better of it, backed out in turn 1 on that lead lap battle of the drivers of Alex Coffey and Matt Urban, but Klein now looks back to the inside of Urban. Urban still sideways through turn 3. Klein almost gets into the back of him.
Side by side further back still, you got Leday and you got Mingo going at it. That battle's not over. I think it's about the only spot on the field. We're side by side. Big hit to the wall, and got a couple cars around.
Couple cars around. Green flag still out. Now the caution is out. That was John Ross, Jake Grout, Corey Moore. Looked like they were involved in the incident right there. As you were watching along with what happened, we'll take a look back at the VSPEED replay.
Somebody blinked out. Somebody lagged out of the session, and that was what caused the stack up initially.
We'll take a moment to look at that.
It was Matt Urban.
It was Matt Urban slammed the outside wall. He had just been passed by Alex Coffey, slams the outside wall, and then Corey Moore had nowhere to go in front of him. We'll take another look. This is Matt Urban, bam, slams the outside wall. Looked like somebody broke in that car.
That's immediately after he hit the wall head on. It said he disconnected from the session. My best guess is that he had some kind of major equipment failure, like
his car just went
PC
straight.
shut off, wheel stopped working. I don't know. Something went horribly wrong for Matt Urban.
Yeah, you don't normally see a car go straight like that unless something is broken, but it's really hard to break something here in iRacing the way that that would happen, as you would see in the real world. So gotta imagine that something happened with Matt Urban's internet or some of his equipment. And that was Corey Moore back on the outside that was involved in that stack up. But I think the 44 of John Ross got the most damage out of that.
Yeah, he was sent spinning to the inside. Gonna really hurt his day. He's had a lot of speed throughout today on the qualifying and the heats. Just hasn't had good luck, and it's come back to bite him once again.
Yeah, Matt Urban, the start of that incident, driver from Slinger, Wisconsin of 27 years old, drives a pro late model in real life, but just wasn't able to handle it right there, had some equipment issues, we imagine. But Kyle Turzak still leads this field after battling from the back, and it's just absolutely impressive to have watched him move through this field and now be so solidified up here on the top again. For you viewers who haven't been able to see, he has won 4 races in Season 2 of the Misfit Touring Series. He is a Sarah Series weekly champion, and he's the current points leader in iRacing officials in the late model, so that we know he has talent, and he's only 15 years old, Sky. So a young driver with a lot of talent and showing it out here in the Rudolph 250. He chooses the outside, and now on the inside, that will be Sylvia. Sylvia's been up and down throughout this field, been able to keep it clean without incident. Green flag is away. Turzak on the outside, Sylvia on the inside.
Good jump for Turzak to get away with the lead there. Sylvia sliding a little bit up the track. Oh, we got some cars around in the back. Christian Peterson is wrecking.
Caution is out. Christian Peterson, a driver running in the top 10 all day long, looked to be involved. Looks like he doesn't have much of any damage on that 71 machine.
DriverTees.com replay to see what got him so sideways on the restart. Maybe a stack up back here. Let's see. Goes down to turn 1. Oh, he's loose in front of him.
Coffey made contact with Leday. Yeah, Coffey looks like he might have made contact there with Leday, got them sideways and stacked up in front of the driver of the 71. We'll take another look here on the hood of Alex Coffey. right to the outside of him, that is John Leday in the 22 car, and right in front of him, that is Justin Crow. So a little bit of a stack up here on the restart, gives the 86 a nudge, dives down into turn 1. Looks like he moves up a little bit in the corner, and the 22 comes down and then make contact.
Yep, just hits the right rear of John Leday. Spiral spins him out, takes a couple cars with.
So incidents continuing to happen here. 158 laps complete, so we are now down under 100 laps to go here in this Rudolph 250, Sky. What have you thought so far?
It's been a really good one. We've had a lot of great racing and some great green flag runs that have really helped it out. Coming down to the end of this racing, it's going to be really interesting to see how this shakes out, as these drivers are going to get a lot more aggressive as we come to the end.
And we're going to check out Kyle Adams' car. Right now, he's currently running 4 laps down and been involved in incidents. But right now, we're going to take a look at his paint scheme. And I love that VSPEED 24 he's got on there, supports RKM, all the partners that are able to help us at MRL and back up here at VSPEED. So again, if you haven't voted, make sure to make your vote and your pick for best appearing car tonight.
Yeah, we've got a lot of contenders. We saw Adams, Klingler, a little further back there, Terzak. I mean, there's so many cars we could pick. We got to narrow it down to one somehow.
That's going to be one of the difficult things to do, is narrow the driver down that has the best paint scheme. But we'll do that by the checkered flag. So before the end of this stream, you will know who the winner is, and we will contact that driver with their consolation prize. So Terzak and Sylvia still make up the front row. Deegan Smith, Jacob Alexander right behind them in row 2. Green flag is out yet again. Crossing the start-finish line here to lap 160.
Side by side up here for second and third, and we're going to go side by side further back as well. Alexander's kind of gotten in the middle of the chaos, but Zeems has moved it up to 5th, Moore up to 6th. This is the battle for these top 5 positions.
And right now, Deegan Smith on the outside of Jake Sylvia trying to make hay. We saw him earlier able to get around cars on the outside early in the tire run, but we spent about 45 laps on these tires now, so not as much grip, and you'll see Deegan slipping back under the clutches of Jacob Alexander now right behind in 4th. So they're all single file. Ken Zeems rounds out the top 5. And behind them, cars are getting single file out mostly throughout this field. Now Zeems dives to the inside of Alexander in turn 3.
Almost caught the grass a little bit trying to make that move work. Got to be careful there. Hit the grass too much, you're around. And we have another car around further back. That is Matt Mingo.
Mingo spinner on the front straightaway at lap 164. He's backing it up now. Crosses the start-finish line. About to tag the wall. Careful to keep it out of the wall right here and spin it around when he gets a chance. We'll look at a J-turn here. He goes down onto the apron. Looking back here at the replay, oh, looks like he just gets into Justin Crow. Jake Grout gets into him and spins into the inside wall.
Yep, head on into the wall there. Not what you want to see, especially for a car that's already been involved in a couple accidents, has not had good luck today. Yep, a little bit of contact with a couple cars, got tight off the corner, and that was what started it.
Tight off the corner started your drivertees.com replay. Taking a look back up here at this car of Matt Mingo. Slowing down, he takes the EOL for the cause of this caution here on lap 166. Other drivers coming down pit road, that's Coffey, Peterson, Leday, and a few others.
Yeah, a lot of drivers making the turn down. You have 2 sets of tires this race, so it's up to you when you decide to use them. Coffey and Peterson clearly deciding that now, with 85 to go, it's the right time to put that second set on. See how that works out for them.
We'll have to see how those tires will make them fare here in the latter half of this race. But let's talk about Ken Zeems. I am truly impressed by him tonight. Haven't been able to, I've never gotten to see him before. New driver here tonight with the Misfit Racing League, but he has absolutely put on a show here tonight up in the top 5. It's where he's been almost all night long.
Yeah, he's one of the newer drivers in the field. We didn't know anything about him coming in, didn't know how he would perform, but he's done really well tonight. Had one of the fastest cars in the field. we'll see if he's able to get those last couple spots and pull up a threat to win by the end of this.
Another driver I'd love to shout out is the 60 of Matt Zaccardo, driver from Collins, New York, part of ZFG Esports. And he has put on an absolutely excellent run here, been running the top 10 all night as well. So happy to see a lot of these newcomers being able to well fare here in this Rudolph 250. So the choose has been decided. Terzak chooses the outside again. So it's the same set of cards here. Jake Sylvia on the inside. We're not going green yet. Lights back on the pace car. Have you narrowed down your pick for one of the best paint schemes, Scott?
I'm kind of torn. I think I'm thinking between Kligler, Kyle Adams, and Terzak are kind of my top three right now.
Yeah, I keep having to rethink it. I mean, I love Jake Grout's paint scheme. Really reminds me of the 00 that ran at Five Flags in the Snowflake 100. It keeps reminding me of that. And so right now in the chat, it is Kyle Adams and Terzak that are tied for the best paint schemes. So fans, we're going to keep making sure and take a look at y'all's picks, because y'all's are the most important. So we're just going to have to see who is going to get it between the two of them, and maybe someone will make a late race run here for that battle. But talking about late race runs, could it be someone outside of this front row to take the win? We'll just have to see as we come down to 90 to go.
Zeems on the inside gets a good run to prevail over Zaccardo. Meanwhile, they're side by side in front of him with Jake Sylvia and Deegan Smith, second and third. Sylvia going to kick it to the inside and get a little bit of a run over Deegan Smith. Still side by side down the front straightaway.
Excuse me, it's 80 to go, now 79. Sylvia and Smith still battle. It seems like every time the two of them start in second and third, they are always side by side, longer than anyone. Sylvia still has the preferred line on the bottom. Smith just not able to hold the grip that he was earlier on the top.
Side by side between those two cars, still they don't have it worked out. Deegan Smith still on the top, Sylvia still on the bottom, and neither car's been able to prevail until right now. Deegan Smith drops down in front of the one of Jake Sylvia, and now it's Zeems in fourth, trying to get himself up onto the podium for the first time tonight.
Zeems carrying speed. These are 50-lap old tires for him, so just 6 laps fresher than the 3 cars in front of him and the 3 cars behind him. Able to make hay here on the bottom again. Been running fourth for about the last 50 laps or so of this race, and he is biding his time. Meanwhile, Deegan Smith moved back to the outside. Sylvia trying to make a move on the bottom, not quite able to do it. Battle for second, third, and fourth is on.
Single file through most of the top, about 14 cars here. Everyone getting it sorted out with 75 to go, but I don't think it's going to be long before we see the intensity start to ratchet up. Sylvia takes a peek to the inside of Deegan Smith, but he doesn't have the speed to get it done right now. They'll stay single file up here at the front. Meanwhile, Choate is looking at the inside of Alexander for 7.
75 laps to go here at the line in the Rudolph 250. Stephen Choate moves in front of Jacob Alexander here for 7th position, but Choate looks to make the crossover, wasn't able to do it because of the car behind. That was the 84 of Corey Moore.
1 and 2 for 6th and 7th right here. Alexander takes another peek up the inside. He's actually going to get the nose stuck in there. I didn't think that was going to work quite as well as it did, but he's still there on Choate. He's going to force himself up the inside of that 72 car and try to take 7th away.
Oh,
side
big
by side
contact.
door banging.
Big contact across the start finish line. They're both sideways here through turn 3. Both able to keep it straight. Alexander nudges his way into the 8th position in front of Stephen Choate.
Now we're side by side again as Choate continues to fall. The outside is not working for him right now, and the longer he stays up there, the more spots he's going to drop. Right now, it's Corey Moore in the 84 on his inside, and Jake Grout in 10th behind him will be the next car trying to put his nose up the inside of the 72.
Corey Moore been stuck in the back ever after early incident within the first 50 laps, been trying to work his way through the field, but now Jake Grout looks to go to the outside here on the 84 of Corey Moore.
We'll see if Grout can actually make this move stick on the outside. The inside's been faster for most cars in this race, but we've seen the outside work on occasion. If Grout can get it done, that'd be some great driving to put himself around the outside of Moore with 70 to go.
Moore pinches Grout up into the outside wall off of turn 4, last lap around. They're still side by side here, coming to complete lap 81 and still battling it out. This is a battle for 9th position between these two drivers.
Staying side by side, neither driver giving an inch to the other in the battle for 9th. It's 68 to go now. Peterson looking behind. He's dropped a little bit, but we know that car is fast. He's now going to look to the outside of Moore as Grout finally gets clear.
Grout finally makes it work there on the outside, just has the better car right now. Now Christian Peterson throws it to the inside while Grout clips the apron.
Still a tight battle. Peterson on the inside of Moore. He'll get the spot. Corey Moore, no matter if he's on the top or the bottom, is going the wrong direction. Back to 11th in that 84 car. Top 10 is now Christian Peterson into the top 10 now. Moore just doesn't have it. He's on really old tires in that car too.
Peterson, we saw him fighting within the top 5 early on in this race, got involved in a mid-race incident, hasn't been able to get back into that top 10 until now. The battle back up front. This is the battle for 2nd position. Deegan Smith currently holds it, but Sylvia is only 0.2 of a second behind them. Then it's Ken Zeems right there looking for one of them to make a mistake. And Kyle Turzak is 1.2 seconds out front.
Sylvia, does he have the speed to get around Deegan Smith? We're going to see their lap times as they come around this time. Last time around, Deegan Smith was slightly faster than Jake Sylvia. They're negotiating the lap car of Kyle Adams there.
Caution!
And caution is out.
Caution is out on the speedway at lap 187. We're going to take a look where it was, but we're not seeing anything. Heard Kyle Adams over the radio say just about a lap too late. So this incident might have happened a lap or so ago. So we'll take a look back. We're going to try to find this caution, the reason for this caution for you. But we're going to have to search for it here in a minute. We'll take a look at our VSPEED replay presented by DriverTees.com.
Kyle Adams was spun around on the front straightaway. That's what the caution was for. He's in a battle with Pena. It kind of just got a little too high, hit Pena off the corner.
Yeah, interesting. Oh, looks like him and Pena battling here back in the position. Oh, just gets contact off of turn 4.
Yeah, those two cars just get together. Kyle Adams, I'm not sure. I think he just thought, I guess he just drove it a little too much off the corner. Pena was already pretty much in the wall when they made contact.
Meanwhile, this going on under our caution, drivers making pit stops. Jake Sylvia pits from 3rd position. Justin Crow, Peterson, and Steven Choate also bring it down. Corey Moore, Tristan Pena, Anthony Yankello, and Alex Coffey, other drivers. 7 drivers total to come into the pit lane.
Interesting strategy here, because with 60 to go, you need to be fast on those new tires if it's going to work out for you. Turzak and Deegan Smith, we saw pit right around halfway. Wouldn't surprise me if they stay on this set to the end of the race. They'd be 130 laps old by the time we finish, but I think they can make it work.
Yeah, I like this car. We're going to take a look at Jake Sylvia's car. Is this a Christmas paint scheme? Hey, whatever it is, it looks really awesome between this driver, but he just came onto pit road. He'll grid up 8th here for a restart. I like the call of pitting, Sky. Everyone, I think you should have pitted unless you're Kyle Turzak. Turzak, I think he can make it work on old tires. The track position for him is key, but I like the call of bolting on a fresh set here for this last 60-lap run.
Yeah, we've seen Turzak make it work on old tires a lot in the Misfit Racing League. While those races are usually shorter than these races and you don't have the chance to run 130 laps on a set, if there is any driver in the field that I think could make this strategy work, it's Kyle Turzak. Pace cars off, Turzak and Zeems lead him back to the line.
We'll have to see if Turzak and other drivers behind him can hold it on these fresh or older tires. Drivers behind them will be advancing slowly but surely. It's Turzak, Smith, Azeems, Zaccardo, and then Leday rounding out your top 5, but Jacob Alexander now works to the inside of Leday for that top 5 spot.
What a day it's been for Leday. He's kind of on newer tires than a lot of these cars up here. He's running 6th right now. He's shown a lot of speed in this race. Big improvement from some of his runs in the Misfit Racing League. Luck's finally on his side today.
Oh,
never mind. I think I cursed him. I think I cursed him.
John Leday sideways out of turn 4, just as we were talking about how luck might have turned around for him. His car turned around instead.
Read a DriverKeys.com replay. John Leday, if you're watching, I am so sorry. I am so sorry for that one. I am so sorry. You're going to see him come out of turn 4 here, racing with Jake Rout. Oh, just contact from the car behind sends both of them into the wall. Peterson also heavily involved.
And that was big contact to the inside wall for Leday. He's already taken one of his fast repairs very early on in this race. We'll take another look back here at what happened to this 22 car. Yeah, just gets hit by Jake Sylvia. And I wonder if Jake Sylvia will get the EOL for this incident.
Well, we'll have to see. If he claimed the caution, he will. We're going to see how that goes around here. Not sure if these drivers are going to claim it or if it will go to racing first race.
Well, currently Jake Sylvia being scored in 7th position after the contact there with John Leday. Jake Rout brings it down pit road under this caution period. And bad luck for Peterson there, just gets caught on the inside of that. Nowhere to go as Leday came down the track.
Yeah, he's just kind of an innocent victim. He has not had as much of a good day as he'd want to have. He was in the top 3 earlier, but he's kind of been mired back in traffic, running 10th to 15th for a lot of this thing.
Yeah, no luck here in the backfield. It is wrecked and dangerous if you're here. Want to be out front for as long as you can. And Turzak has been the one to create that claim, because we saw earlier pole sitter Justin Brooks came in for the first round of pit stops and was involved in a wreck that put him out of this race. Turzak came up through the field as fast as he could, and he's been out front ever since.
Turzak has so much speed. I mean, you wouldn't even know he started at the back because he drove up so quickly, and he's just dominated ever since. He'll make the inside on this restart with 53 to go, getting himself closer to the $100 payday for the Ultimate Challenge.
Yeah, again, that Ultimate Challenge, he came from the back to win $50 if he wins the Rudolph 250, and it's looking good for him right now. We're not going to jinx him, and so we'll just have to continue to watch him. Sky will say nothing right now. No, I need you, Sky. I need you here in the booth with me. I need you here. Can't do it alone without you. Couldn't do it without you. So Kyle Turzak lines up on the bottom this time. Deegan Smith on the outside. Ken Zeems and Zach Zaccardo, the men of Z's, not taking a Z here on the restart. Zeems gets a great one while lacking on the outside with Smith.
Turzak got away really well there, and that helped the whole inside line. Side by side between Deegan Smith and Ken Zeems for second. Meanwhile, take a little further back. Pena, who spent the majority of this race one or multiple laps down, has pulled the car into the top 10.
Well, we saw in the heat races that he was absolutely fast in that 50 machine, so he's been moving through the field, now in front of Jay Grout into the inside of Alex Coffey. Coffey hasn't been driving the same since that incident at the halfway mark. Pena loose out of turn 4, but able to prevail in front of Coffey.
Yeah, Coffey, another driver like Peterson, who's been mired back in the mid-pack and hasn't gotten the run he wants. Jake Sylvia is around.
Jake Sylvia, driver who had pitted and was just involved in the incident with John Leday, is around on the back straightaway.
We'll get a DriverTees.com replay of what happened to Jake Sylvia right here, running towards the front of the field, trying to get under the Alexander machine right there. Justin Crow also in this battle. He's going to come down in the corner. Ooh, Alexander gets loose. That's how that started. 2 cars trying to get in the space of 1 car.
Yeah, it seemed like the story of the night for Jacob Alexander. I think at every moment throughout almost every corner I've seen him sideways, and yet somehow he's been able to keep it straight. We're going to take a moment to interview your current leader with under 50 laps to go. We're going to bring Kyle Turzak up into the booth. Well, Kyle Turzak, you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Look, Kyle, we got to talk to you earlier, and you were very excited to take the ultimate challenge. You worked through to the front of the pack behind Justin Brooks within 70 laps. How are you feeling with 50 to go being up front?
I prefer pretty good, you know. I had to burn up the right rear a little bit trying to get up there, and I got up there pretty easily, and I was behind Justin, and I could see I could roll center a lot better than him in 3 and 4, and then those pit stops right there, and I know how to be aggressive on the restart because he was on the outside and I was on the inside, so I just was aggressive as I can, and he got involved with that incident, so I knew that was my golden key right there, and yeah, we just stayed out front. These guys are on tires behind me, and I feel like if we get a 15-lap run right here, then we get a yellow, it's going to be really good for me. So unless we can just get all these yellows right here, that would also be really good.
Yeah, you're on 87 lap old tires. Currently, Deegan Smith, Matt Zaccardo behind you are on the same tires, but right behind them, Justin Crowe, Tristan Pena, Alex Coffey, Jake Grout, all these guys behind you are on fresher tires. Do you plan on pitting or are you staying out to the end?
It depends how many yellows or green flag laps we get right here. If we get like a 15 or 20, I'll definitely come down, but after that, unless we get all these yellows like we're having right here, I'll definitely just stay out.
Well, we'll just have to see. Kyle, good luck here in these last 50 laps.
Thank you, appreciate it.
That was Kyle Turzak, your current leader. Chooses the outside line, Deegan Smith on the inside. So the first 3 cars here on lap 88 old tires. Behind them, 2 cars with 16 lap old tires behind them, then 9. So everyone behind them has fresher tires. We're going to go 1 more lap here under caution. But Sky, what are you thinking about these tires, these old tires? How will they perform up here at the front?
Yeah, that is part of the question. The top 3 are going to be the only ones who stayed out. Turzak, Smith, and Zaccardo are on tires from 89 laps ago. Meanwhile, Justin Crowe, Alex Coffey, Tristan Pena all came down 17 laps ago. Rout and Mingo 10 laps ago. And some of these guys even took 2. It's going to be a really interesting strategy to see how this race shakes out in the last couple laps. As we head back to green, I want to note Alex Coffey has pit 8 times this race. He's in 5th. Pace car is off. We're going back to green with 44 to go.
Turzak swings it down into turn number 1. Deegan Smith follows him through. Then Matt Zaccardo and the 86 of Justin Crowe here battling for 3rd. It's all going to depend on how the cautions fall. That's what leader Kyle Turzak said about his tires. But Matt Zaccardo dives into turn 1, trying to get ahead of the 86 of Crowe.
Crowe is on 70 lap fresher tires. You think he'd have the advantage, but Zaccardo isn't making it look like it. Bringing all the fight to him, and that's going to allow Alex Coffey to get back up the inside. Now he, also on fresh tires, is going to move for 4th. He's getting hot at the right time.
Zaccardo looks like he has a great car. Coffey involved in an incident earlier. Looks like that car is working more to his liking now. He's up to 5th now, taps the bumper of Zaccardo. He says, hey, I'm right behind you, trying to get by.
Coffey was fast early, spent a lot of the middle portion of this race trying to recover from that big accident. But when it matters most, with the race on the line, 40 laps to go, Alex Coffey is moving. Trying to get past Zaccardo up to the podium, and I think he's got the speed. He certainly has the tires.
He's up into 4th now, 1/10 of a second behind Zaccardo, 1.4 seconds off of leader Turzak. Dives here into turn 3, rounds the bottom, and Zaccardo just can't hold the top. That's Coffey now into 3rd, but Zaccardo not done with the momentum on the top side.
Coffey is fast. We'll see if he can get clear. He's all the way down on exit with on the throttle trying to make time. But Zaccardo is just able to fight back on the top down the straightaways. This time, Coffey will finally get clear Alex. Coffey moves it into 3rd. We'll see if he can track down Deegan Smith and Kyle Turzak.
Man, Zaccardo all the way to the back bumper of Coffey, trying to get as much momentum into that corner to get in front of Crowe. He will do it, but takes the top line. Will that open the door for Crowe? Yes, it will. Zaccardo gets a little wiggle in turn 4, side by side for 4th.
Side by side for the position. Crowe is on the better tires. Zaccardo is struggling on those old rubber. He's on the top, Crow on the bottom. We've seen the bottom be the preferred line, especially on newer tires, but Zaccardo has put up such a good fight. He doesn't want to relinquish this position just yet.
Just goes to show he's on those older tires, but able to fight on the outside because that car is working the way he likes it. Got to find a way to the bottom here, but Jake Grout is going to fill the hole, trying to move up into 5th.
Grout trying to move through as well. Another car on that newer tire set. I think as Zaccardo gets trapped on the outside, he's on such old tires, he doesn't really have a way of fighting back right now. You're seeing that as Pena's starting to get around him. Grout's getting around him. Unless he can drop that thing down to the inside soon, he is going to free fall. You're going to see Pena sticking up the inside here as well. He can't quite get there. Zaccardo finally gets down in 6th.
Zaccardo throws the block there on Tristan Pena, so Zaccardo falls down to 6th, and Tristan Pena, Tristan Pena, big tap from Matt Mingo, he's sideways, caution's out.
Big spin in front of the field, a couple other cars having to lock it up, but I don't think anyone else takes damage in that incident. Kyle Terzak was talking about when the cautions needed to fall and when he would pit and when he wouldn't. I can't imagine he'd pit now with so many cars already down.
No, I have to agree with just over 30 laps to go. I'd imagine he'd stay out. Have track position is key. Look at here, Matt Mingo gets a tap to Tristan Pena, and that sends him around. Jake Sylvia barely able to make it through there. Ken Zeems has to slow up. I want to get a look at Jake Sylvia. I mean, he had to be inches from hitting the inside wall on those barrels for pit road. Yeah, I mean, it had to be mere inches.
Good evasive action from a lot of cars. I mean, we saw, I think 3 or 4 cars almost get heavy damage in that incident, and they all managed to slip through. We're going to go on board with Jake Sylvia starting about a lap early here, and we'll see how he approaches this action.
Yeah, Sylvia right here looks to miss it here in the back. This is Peterson and Moore right in front of him, but up front, that's Tristan Pena and Matt Mingo get sideways right here. This is 2 laps early, so we'll take another lap here as they roll. Jake Sylvia moved ahead in the running order, and that's Peterson right in front of him. So we're going to take a look here. I'm really excited to see this view from them because he had to barely miss that inside wall. Still looking here at as the laps wind down for this incident. It's okay. We're going to keep going because I really want to see this. We're going to get we're going to take it too far, but now we're already committed. Now here's the contact. Matt Mingo, now this is on view of Jake Sylvia. Dives down here. Look at the inside of that wall. Oh my gosh, barely misses it.
That was close. He almost did a little bit of the Kyle Larson there, head on into the barrel.
That's what I was thinking.
Barely kept that thing out.
Well, great evasive action from Jake Sylvia. That puts him into 7th for now. Kyle Terzak still out front. Him and Deegan Smith, 104 lap old tires. Behind them, Alex Coffey, Justin Crow, 32 lap old. And behind them, Jake Grout and Christian Peterson, 26 and 27 laps old. So Kyle Adams is the only car out there on 104 lap old tires as well, but he's 3 laps down and in 17th.
Matt Zaccardo did choose to pit. He was one of the 3 cars on the old tires he chose to come down pit road. That means Alex Coffey on fresh tires and Justin Crow on also fresh tires are going to restart in the 2nd row.
That puts Zaccardo down in 15th spot. Coming here to complete lap 222 and start 223. We're just over 25 laps ago in the Rudolph 250.
Good jump for the 2 cars on old tires. Terzak and Deegan Smith out to the lead on the start. A couple cars in the wall further back. Coffey and Grout now 3rd and 4th as Grout has prevailed over Crow, and Jake Grout is now trying to pressure Alex Coffey for 3rd.
They're going to have to work together if they want to get back to the front, but they're going to decide to battle it out side by side. So close off of turn 2. Grout down to the inside. No, Coffey throws the block.
Coffey's at a lot of speed. He was quick earlier. He's quick now. Like I said, heating up at the right time to try to make this move towards the front too. This is the battle for first place among the cars who have fresh tires. So if this tire strategy does end up working out, this is going to be for that spot. Terzak and Smith are getting away the more these 2 go side by side.
Big contact!
Alex Coffey sideways.
What a
He
save by
saves
Coffee.
it.
Yeah, Grout turns him back around, straightens him out, and they don't lose position, but they do bring out the caution.
Oh my goodness. We are going to need a drivertees.com replay of that one. Coffee might need some new pants after that one, because look at this. Grout just gets up into the side of him. There's contact down the straightaway. Yeah, Grout just tags him, spins him 90 degrees sideways, and somehow straightens that thing out. I don't even think he's going to lose any positions.
They didn't. They're still third and fourth as they run. Taking another look here, this is the driver camera of Jake Grout. Side by side, just tries to come up the track just a little bit, but there wasn't room. Both tried to go the opposite direction, made contact. One of the things I like that Grout was able to do there was able to straighten them up.
Race control, I think they threw the caution for that one manually because they really, really thought he was going to send that thing around, and he somehow managed to pull it back together and stay in third.
I know, I don't blame him whatsoever because, I mean, he was 90 degrees, like you said. Black flag here for Jake Grout. So he is going to get the EOL and go all the way to the back. That will end his chances of battling for the win in this second annual Rudolph 250.
Yeah, like we said at the start, Stewart's trying to be a little more stringent with the rules here recently in the Misfit Racing League. Jake Grout almost spun Coffee. Probably should have spun Coffee if he hadn't made that crazy save. He'll go to the back.
Did you just make up a word?
Did I?
I think so. What did you say? Stringent?
Yeah, you know, like when you're really strict with the rules. You're stringent.
Really? I've
Get the
never heard
dictionary
that
out.
before.
Get the dictionary out.
Maybe I need to open up the dictionary once more every so often. Maybe Ohio is giving you a little bit more of a grammar education, a dictionary education
Hey, it's
than me.
Oklahoma, wrong OU.
Oh, my B.
Hey, I got that SEC education.
I got that SEC education.
We both do.
Well, I just learned a new word here tonight. But the drivers are learning some new things out here on the track on old tires and new tires. Kyle Turzak chooses the top here for this restart. Deegan Smith on the bottom. Then it's Alex Coffey, Justin Crow, and Christian Peterson making up your top five. Again, Jake Grout sent to the back for the cause of that incident. We come here to complete lap number 30. We cross the start-finish line. It'll be less than 20 laps to go. Green flag is out for Turzak.
We'll see if he can get away the same way he has every other caution. He will. He'll drop it down in front of Deegan Smith to take the lead. Smith slides it up a little bit, trying to get back to him, but he can't do it. Victory fuel on the back bumper of that car. He might need some to get up to the lead.
Alex Coffey in third. Meanwhile, they're thinking about looking three wide here for fifth. Jake Sylvia backs out. It's Justin Crow in fourth. Christian Peterson on his outside here, fighting in the back. Peterson sideways.
Deegan Smith has been in second for so long, but he just can't quite get there. Still hanging out in second. Coffey still in third, and the battle is further back in the back half of the top 10. We're seeing Peterson make a big slide, try to get to the inside of Crow, while Zeems and Sylvia are door banging for seventh.
Man, this is all the way heat action back in the back. Justin Crow throws the blocker. Meanwhile, back there, this is the 31. He's back there. This is Jake Sylvia now on the back of Ken Zeems. Throws it down to the inside. This is a battle back for fifth.
Side by side, Sylvia with the crossover, a little bit of contact. We've seen cars spin out on similar moves to that, but they both keep it straight, and Sylvia gets the spot over the 17, Ken Zeems.
Zeems lets him go. He falls down into seventh. That promotes Sylvia up to sixth position after being involved in an incident not long ago. Caution is out here in the back yet again.
Looked like, oh, it is Choate, not Matt Mingo, 72, not the 12 around.
Steven Choate around in turn number 2. We'll take a look at our drivertees.com replay. Back in turn number 2, this is Steven Choate and Matt Mingo off of turn 4. Now Choate to the inside of Corey Moore. Looks down to make a dive to the inside. Just gets loose and it makes contact with Moore. Goes around.
Glides it up the racetrack. Yeah, just nowhere to go. Had contact with that car. Got loose and lost it there for Choate. He had some speed earlier too. We saw him running in second for a while. not the ending to this race he envisioned.
Yeah, Steven Choate, he's brought it down pit road 9 times here tonight. So he was running well up in the top 10 before that incident between him and Moore. So that will relegate him to the back of this field. Meanwhile, we have just 14 laps to go left in this race. We've seen so many incidents and cautions, and meanwhile, Terzak and Smith have been able to keep it clean up front. Coffee has been able to provide it back there. Oh, the fake out by Terzak coming to pit road. And before the end of this race, we want to remind you about iRacing's holiday sale. Get 50% off new iRacing memberships through now January 5th. Visit iRacing.com/holiday sale to get those membership. Me and Sky also get to run races with other leagues that we run in, and we just love driving. I mean, everyone up here around that does this just loves race cars and loves driving. iRacing is a great platform that gives us that service to be able to put on great racing here in the sim. So if you're looking for a membership, get it now, 50% off until January 5th.
I'm telling you, you get that new membership, you get up to C-Class Oval, you buy the Gen 4 car, and you just run the Gen 4 car, and it's the most fun you'll ever have.
Gen 4 is top tier. Gen 4 is top tier.
So much fun.
You know, I love those super late models. I'm a late model guy.
I like them. I have a problem
love
where I
short
go
track
into
racing.
super late models and I lose 50 or 50 safety.
I know.
rating back every time I do it.
It is a coin toss every lap. I got to run a derby last night at 5 Flags, and it was a toss-up. Got wrecked out at lap 150. But we're here in the Rudolph 250. Here, we're going to have 11 laps to go at the line. Terzak still out front. It's been the story of the night. Halfway in the back of this field, green flag is out. Smith on the inside.
Will he finally get the start he needs? Maybe no. Terzak will get clear down the back straightaway. 10 laps to go this time around, and Terzak is going to be the one to lead him there over Smith and Coffee. Still on those new tires, but still in third.
Terzak, Smith, and Coffee glued to each other. It's looking at that incident right there. Jake Sylvia had big contact there with Justin Crow in turn 1. That promotes Crow into 4th, and now Christian Peterson moves into 5th. Sylvia's stuck on the outside.
Side by side, Zeems had to go to the back, but he's starting to move back through the field, or he would if he didn't get really tight on entry there and slide it up the racetrack a little bit. That's going to give Sylvia some space to work and some space to close into this side-by-side battle of Peterson and Crow in front of him.
Sylvia falls back to 6th. Peterson and Crow side by side right in front of him. Wow, makes a big turn off the corner, tries to go to the inside of Peterson. Peterson blocks it.
Sylvia's looking all over the racetrack, trying to find some room to get himself into the top 4 tonight, but he can't do it right now. Zeems still trails him as these two keep working at it for 5th, or for 4th.
Zeems in 7th, Sylvia in 6th. This is Justin Crow and Christian Peterson battling it out for 4th, but meanwhile, there's a battle for 2nd out on the track. Coffee, better tires than Deegan Smith. He works to the inside, tries to go into 2nd.
He's been digging for a while now, and he's finally going to try to get the spot. We're staying side by side down the straightaway, a little bit of contact between the two, but we keep it straight. 5 to go at the line this time. Terzak's out front. Coffee and Smith are side by side for 2nd.
This is good, clean racing. They're going to keep each other clean here to the end of this, but they are not going to let each other go with ease at all. Still right even down the back straightaway as we come across the line. This will mark 4 laps to go left in the Rudolph 250. Alex Coffey prevailing on the bottom so far.
The more these two fight, the happier Terzak is, because while these two are going at it side by side for 2nd, that has opened up a 1 second gap to Kyle Terzak. Coffee gets clear. Deegan Smith tries to switch back. Ultimately unsuccessful, but he's got another shot going down here into turn 1. He'll pick it up the inside. Can he get the run on the bottom around Alex Coffee?
Coffee edges the apron down. Caution is out with 3 to go. Anthony Yankello.
Yankello backwards in turn 4, and Alex Coffee is going to have one more shot at Kyle Terzak.
Man, that was so close. Coffee is going to get the spot in iRacing's timing and scoring right now. 3 wide here in the back as Anthony Yankello, just makes contact there with the 72 of Stephen Choate. And big contact with Jacob Alexander in the 90.
Alexander got all 4 wheels off the ground right there. That thing got some serious air.
The MRL Space Force is back and live here tonight. Big contact off the outside wall in turn number 2.
Yeah, Jake Sylvia, I know you're the commanding officer of that, but you might need a new general. Gonna be Alexander.
Alexander gets all 4 wheels off of the ground there in that incident. Kyle Adams, after fighting all race long, is back on the lead lap as we go to green, white, checkered. So great job, Kyle, working all the way from 4 laps down early on in this race. But the talk is about the green, white, checkered. We've got 3 attempts here in this race tonight. Again, we explained it earlier, but we'll take 2 laps to go at the line. We'll take a green flag lap and a white flag lap. If there's a caution during the green flag lap, we will wrap them up and set them up to go again if we have any attempts left. If the leader takes the white flag and we get a caution, the race will be over. So we'll just have to see how it is going to work here, but I imagine it is going to be hard fought here at the end of this because Terzak has been leading all race long, but now Alex Coffey is in second on fresher tires.
Yeah, and you do a lot to win this race. Terzak's got more money on the line than Coffey does because Terzak gets that extra $50 added to his prize tonight if he wins the race for winning the ultimate challenge of starting at the back, driving through the field, and if he finishes it first,
Jacob Alexander having
Alexander who has spun it attempting to hit the juice cone.
Well,
interesting.
Yeah, I mean, you're supposed to get to the bottom. Looks like he swung it a little bit too late.
Well, we're going to go another lap because Jacob Alexander is backwards on the front straightaway. So while they're getting that sorted out, as I was saying, if Coffey wins this, he'd win $50. But if Terzak got P1 tonight, he would win $100 for starting at the back and going to the front.
Yeah, so Terzak has a chance to lose $70 here if he was to finish second, as opposed to if anyone else was running up front, they'd only lose 20. So he's got a lot to lose here as we go to our first green, white, checkered. And the action is going to be hot here at the end. Will this be the final restart of the Rudolph 250, or will we have another caution and have to stack them up yet again? We'll just have to see. Alex Coffey on the bottom, Kyle Terzak on the top is the control car. Christian Peterson, Deegan Smith right behind them. Green flag is out here, the first green, white, checkered attempt of the night.
Terzak gets a good jump over Deegan Smith and Alex Coffey. He gets out to the lead. Coffey back to third, falling behind Deegan Smith in second. We're side by side for third now because Sylvia's looking up the outside of Alex Coffey. Coffey will get the spot as we come to the white flag. Kyle Terzak has the lead.
1 lap to go. Kyle Terzak out front through turns 1 and 2. Meanwhile, in the back, Jake Sylvia tries to swing it in for third, but Alex Coffey holds it. Terzak out front, rounds his way through turn 3 and 4. Driver out of Stafford, Virginia, will win the 2nd annual Rudolph 250.
Wiggling that thing back and forth across the line, too. He got loose out of 4, but he made it to the end, and Kyle Terzak wins $50 for winning the race, wins $50 for going back to front, and we haven't even announced the paint scheme prize yet.
Yeah, we're going to have to let that one be seen, but Kyle Terzak, he was in the lead of the paint scheme vote, so we're just gonna have to see in a little bit how that one lays out. But no matter what, he has won the 2nd annual Rudolph 250 and he's taking home $100.
What a drive for him. He's gonna hit the Polish victory lap, doing it in reverse around North Wilkesboro.
The Polish victory lap, made famous back in the 60s. And wow, what a drive from Kyle Terzak. Absolutely impressive. Wins it on 138 lappable tires.
What a drive to get that thing done. As he does burnouts, we're going to take you to a commercial break, and we'll be right back here for some interviews on VSPEED.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Whoa there, Rudolph. Ho, ho, ho. Wishing you a very Merry Christmas.
Get ready. 3, 2, 1.
But Jim can't hold off the animal much longer. Suddenly, the angry reindeer grinds him into the dirt.
Well, with the Rudolph 250 complete now, Kyle Turzak is your winner of the second annual, and what a drive by him. We're going to get him up here in the booth. Before I always forget, got to go to those results first. Turzak is your winner. Deegan Smith comes home in second. Alex Coffey rounds out your top three. Jake Sylvia comes home in fourth, and Christian Peterson rounds out the top five. Tristan Pena, 2 laps down earlier at the start of this race, was able to rebound to 6th position. Justin Crowe started on the outside of the front row, but wasn't able to finish there. He finishes in 7th. Matt Mingo, involved in multiple incidents, able to finish in the top 10 in 8th. Jake Grout, we saw him battling with Alex Coffey there near the end of this race. They made contact and he was given the EOL. He was still able to work his way from the back into the top 10. And Ken Zeems, one of the best drivers of the night, in my opinion, able to work in the top 10 all night long, and he finishes there.
Finishing further back, it's going to be Stephen Choate in the 72 and 11th. Matt Zaccardo had a good run going, but played the wrong strategy and finished 12th. Jacob Alexander, 13th. Ryan Klingler, I'm going to announce this right now, our paint scheme prize winner for tonight, finishes 14th. Corey Moore, 15th. Kyle Adams, 16th. Anthony Yankello, P17, Frank Klein, 18, Leday in 19th, John Ross in 20th.
Rounding out your Rudolph 250 field, this is Matt Urban in the 48. Saw him go out earlier with connection issues. Justin Brooks started on the pole, but just wasn't able to, when after the first pit stop, got caught in an incident. There was too much damage for him. And in 23rd and 24th, it is Gerhardt and Bates at the back of this field. So now, before I got ahead of myself before, we're going to get Kyle Turzak in here in the booth to talk to your winner of the Rudolph 250. Well, Kyle Turzak, we got to talk to you quite a few times tonight, and I imagined we would be talking to you here at the end. You're so consistent when we get to see you in the touring series, and you were consistent here tonight. First off, I talked about it a little bit earlier, but let's go over it again for these viewers who might not have been here. What was it like working from the back to the front at the beginning of this feature?
Oh, it was chaos. You know, we had that first yellow, and I was like, okay, let's see how this race plays out. And when we had that first caution, I knew that it was going to be like that the entire race. So when we started to get that green flag run, I think the lap 60 or so, somewhere in there, I just started to pick off one by one. I was using a little right rear to do that, but I got all my way up to seventh, and then some people had issues with the juice cone, which got me up to sixth. And I just drove my guts out up to second, and then pit stops right there. You know, had to take tires, of course, and fill it up. And I think we only did one pit stop, which is crazy. I didn't even expect that. I thought we were at least taking all the right sides, but yeah, during that second stint right there, I just saved tire, and I just managed my half a second gap up to Deegan, and I stayed out. I don't know why, but I did, and I knew by lap 220, I felt like I had a pretty good, if not the race win in my bag. But I honestly could not even believe going in that restart zone with the last restart. I thought it was all over because I knew Alex was on the fresh tires and he was on the bottom, but that top side on those restarts and controlling is just overpowered. No one could stop you.
Yeah, he got damaged earlier on in the race, and Alex Coffey's car just wasn't working as much to his liking as he would have wanted. So what does this win mean for you? You win $100 tonight with coming from the back to the front. How does that feel?
It feels amazing. Finally got to pay off my V3s from breaking my Logitech. So definitely so happy. Get to go some Christmas shopping too. So this is one for the record books for sure.
Well, glad to have seen you won it. Will you be joining us tomorrow night for race number 7 of the Misfit Touring Series at Southern National?
I think so. It just depends how everything goes, but I do hope to make it out. I know last week I had a couple issues, but hopefully tomorrow I don't have those same issues with helping out with the family. But I think so.
Well, no matter what, congratulations on winning the 2nd annual Rudolph 250. Before I let you go, anyone you'd like to thank tonight?
Yeah, I want to thank Coach Shim Shots, Arcane Self Shop, Justin Brooks Designs for the beautiful paint scheme. Probably the best out here, but the fans probably don't think that. You guys for the broadcast, amazing job tonight. I know we didn't get that many green flag laps, but when we did, it was a heck of a show.
Well, congrats, man, tonight. Go on and celebrate.
Thank you.
Well, that was race winner Kyle Turzak. We got to talk to him a couple times tonight. A driver we haven't got to talk to yet that Sky Shrek has gotten to talk with is 2nd place runner Deegan Smith.
Hey, Deegan, you got a copy?
Yep.
Talk to us about that pitch strategy there. It was only you and Turzak who stayed out, but it ended up working really well.
Yeah. There's just so many cautions that we knew that our tires were good enough at the end that we didn't need to pit, and we didn't have a long enough green flag run to fully get to use them. So we knew that we were going to be good in the end if we stayed out.
All right. Do you think there was anything you could have done to get to Turzak, or was he just so fast?
Maybe if I loosened my car up a little bit more. I was definitely on the tighter side, but I think he was just that good.
And then tell me about getting around Coffee at the end there, because you two were in a really good battle at the end of that.
I just got a good jump on the last restart, and I chopped his nose a little bit, but I just got the run out of the corner and then kept my position from there.
All right, you got anyone you want to thank on broadcast tonight?
RKM Setup Shop. I want to thank Ryan Kuhn for making a bad fast set tonight. You guys for putting all this on, and MRL for hosting all this stuff for us.
All right, congrats on 2nd place, Deegan Smith.
Thank you.
And while we were talking to him, Scott has caught back up with our 3rd place finisher, Alex Coffey.
Yeah, Alex Coffey here in the booth. Comes home 3rd here tonight. Saw you on fresh tires as opposed to the drivers ahead of you. What made the difference between not being able to make up the time with those extra fast tires?
I'd just say the cautions. Those guys, even on old tires in these cars, if you get to cool them down, they're fast for a good little bit once you start back up. So all the cautions just kept cooling their tires. But I mean, even then, I'm not sure that I made enough of an adjustment to catch them there at the end. I was still on the snug side, so they were quick. I knew I had a little speed on Deegan. I kind of had to send it and get beside him to make something happen, but he had such good timing on that last restart. I just got out restarted there at the end and just filed into third and figured I'd try to hold that off.
It was great to watch you two battle. Another great battle to watch was you and Jake Grout battling there for third earlier. Talk to me about that contact down in turn one.
I'm not sure. Felt like I held my line down the straightaway, just kind of got hooked. And then early in the race, there was some comments from him that I'm not sure what happened there, if it was an accident or what. I figure it was though, but yeah, it was I was looking straight at the inside wall. I thought it was day over with there, but we held on to it. Probably didn't help the tires with that slide, but we stayed in it for third.
It was definitely one of the best saves of the night. Talking about incidents, round the midway of this race, you've been running up front all night long, but you got involved in a mid-pack incident. What was it like coming back from that mid-pack?
Definitely a little sketchy. There's some guys back there that I don't know. You got to save a little bit in these cars, or in any car on this game, and guys think that they're, I guess, quicker than you right off the bat, and they just ship it on the inside and try to make it stick. So I was just trying to be patient, let them do what they need to do, and work my way back up front slowly. It was a long race, but it cycled out eventually.
Well, before I let you go tonight, Alex, anyone you'd like to thank tonight?
Oh yeah, shout out to Dig Esports, Victory Designs for painting the car tonight. Shout out to Kyle and everybody that helps put the league on, the race control, all the guys that put in their time to get a series like this going. It's a lot of fun when I do come run. And shout out to Turzak and Deegan for the good runs. Turzak beat me in the Gobbler around Thanksgiving and got me here. So I guess we need to find something else to beat that 15 or those 15s.
Well, but definitely fast. You were third fastest tonight. Congratulations on third place finish, Alex.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it.
Well, that was third place runner Alex Coffey coming home in your last step of the podium. And what a great race tonight it was. It was absolutely excellent. What did you think about this Rudolph 250 tonight, Sky?
It was a ton of fun. We had, so much good racing. We got a couple good green flag runs in there too. Cars really being able to battle, some 2-wide, 3-wide action. It was kind of everything you wanted in a short track race. A lot of fun, and we even got a couple battles for the lead at the end.
Yeah, a few battles for the lead at the end as those cautions fell. We got to see some great green flag runs, like you said. I thought the cautions were spread out pretty well throughout the first half of this race, and so I just thought it was really awesome to get to watch that. Our next broadcast will be tomorrow night at 7:30 p.m. Central, 8:30 Eastern. The Misfit Touring Series will be going to Southern National in North Carolina for race number 7 of Season 2. So if you're not doing anything tomorrow night, join us for Misfit Touring Series' second race. Before we do anything, any last thoughts tonight, Sky?
Yeah, I think Southern National is going to be a ton of fun. One of the staple iRacing tracks. It's one of the first ones you ever drive when you first join the service. Everyone's got a lot of experience with it, and I'm hoping that leads to some really close racing tomorrow when we race from Southern National.
It's definitely one of my favorite tracks, especially in this late model stock. It's so cool, those high banks and short straightaways from the speedway of Southern National. See a lot of great racing from over there, and I'm so excited to get to it tomorrow night. If you got nothing going on, join us here at 7:30 Central, 8:30 Eastern. Well, that'll be all tonight from the Rudolph 250. And remember, Kyle Adams at Jake Sylvia and Misfit Production, for Bradley Cooper at VSPEED, for DJ Lion at Production, and my colleague in the booth, Sky Shrek, my name is Scott Shive, and we'll see you tomorrow night at Southern National.